hold our hands up high, as is recorded in 1 Tim chapter 2, verse 8. So y'all, we have a direction, we have an order, so let's get our prayer on.
All right, we're gonna get this opening prayer with the Most High's permission in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, locally known here as Jesus the Christ. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, the 42nd chapter, and it reads as follows. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O Yah. My soul thirsteth for Yah, for the living Elohim. When shall I come and appear before Yah? My tears have been my meat day and night, while they were continually saying unto me, where is thy God? When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me. For I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of Yah, with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted in me? Hope thou in Yah, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance. O my Elohim, my soul is cast down within me. Therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan, and from the Hermonites, from the hill Mizar. Deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy waterspouts. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me. Yet the Most High will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, and my prayers unto the Elohim of my life. I will say unto Yah, my rock, why hast thou forgotten me? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a sword in my bones, mine enemies reproach me. While they say daily unto me, where is thy God? Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in Yah, for I shall yet praise him, who is the help of my countenance and my power. Hallelujah! Say that!
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Very powerful. Shalom, y'all. Shalom, Mike.
What's up, boy?
Yes, sir.
Almost thought I flipped one page too many. Shalom, line.
Yes, sir. Shalom. Yes, sir. Let's go. Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom worldwide, family, for all those tuned in on the live stream. That's right. Y'all, today's topic is biblical ring of gold. So, we have a lot of talk going around. And y'all, I ain't gonna be rude, let me finish chewing. On what it is about biblical marriage and the things that pertain to marriage. You hear a lot of things out there, y'all. You hear a lot of things from outside sources. So we're gonna deal with the matter today of what we call biblical rings of gold. There was multiple biblical rings of gold that you read about in these scriptures that gonna have to be answered for. If you're saying something about this is pagan, then they'll have to be answered from the scripture first before we accept any outside source. And when I say outside source, I'm saying a book written by somebody else about the Bible. We have the Apocrypha that's written by the prophets about it's within the Bible. This book right here contains this and this book of Jasher, because both of these books are mentioned in this book. To study from these books for additional information. What I mean by outside source, I'm saying any book written by some author containing scripture and point to different things, if you put that in front of this, and that is the source, and this becomes your resource, we got it backwards. This is always going to be the source. It ain't going to never change. It's the foundation. It's the root of everything that's going on. If this get moved to second place, you're going to have some problems. You're going to have idol worship and men worship. Because you're going to worship what comes second. So this biblical ring of gold we got, and I'm just put it out here because we'll see countless times of nose rings, hand rings, and ear rings throughout the scripture. Does any of them apply to marriage? We're going to see today versus what an outside source is saying about these scriptures. Because we have to understand Lucifer masquerades as an angel of light. So it's not the fact if rings exist, it's the fact of does he get you to do with that ring what he would do with it. And that's make it an idol. So y'all, we gonna get into the scripture to see, is it an idol or was it made an idol? And if it's acceptable by the Most High. Because ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing here done on earth was not mirrored or a pattern of what's done in the heavens. Those two go hand in hand. So y'all, with that, anybody got any questions or concerns before we get started? Go ahead, bro.
Where'd you get your book of Jasher?
You can get it online, Amazon, or any of them. Just do a King James Version. They'll have it to your door in 2 days. Yes, sir. And that's mentioned in 2 Samuel 1:18, Joshua 10:13, and 2 Timothy 3:8. It says, study out of this book. It's in the Bible. But do we study other books of men? We use those as what we're saying as reference points. It's other people that may be talking about the Bible, but the bottom line is, if it don't line up with this, there's a problem. Anybody got any more questions before we get started? And also, y'all, we have to understand that we have to keep everything with biblical language so that we don't switch to the secondary source of information and call it what they're calling it. Like, we speak of the virgin birth, but some will say we're practicing the Immaculate Conception. No, what you're misunderstanding is you don't understand what the Immaculate Conception is. It's not talking about the Messiah's miraculous birth. It talks about Mary. This don't talk about Mary having a miraculous birth and never sinned. This don't tell you to say, Hail Mary. The doctrine of the Immaculate Conception says that. So we're not talking about the same thing. Neither is we're talking about marriage from what the Babylonians did. We're talking about it how it goes from the scripture. So we're not taking old people's doctrine, because this go way back before the Babylonian captivity, or even if you go back as far as Nimrod captivity, about this book, because we get back to Genesis 1 before all of that. So all of these things had a start. Lucifer copies what the Most High has and gets you to worship it from his perspective. Because if we talk about a circle, who on earth invented it first? Who invented the wheel? When I read Ezekiel chapter 1, it say the chariot of the Lord was a wheel inside of a wheel. So this way before the first wheel on a chariot here on planet Earth. So let's get back to where the real is at when we're dealing with these scriptures. And we'll see that ancient Babylon or wherever these things come up are copycats. Now, if you're doing it from the flavor that that copycat is doing, then you're dead wrong. But the script gonna tell us how to deal with every substance on planet Earth because it's the living book. It's going to deal with everything concerning our life. There's nothing gonna come up concerning this book that don't deal with human beings' life on earth, especially the children of Israel. So y'all, we're gonna go and get started because we want to get rolling. We're a little bit behind. We're already 1:30 in. So y'all, first thing we want to do about this biblical ring of gold is look up the Hebrew word for it, and it's called a signet. S-I-G-N-E-T. Hit that, if you got that concordance there, that Hebrew word for it, 2368. So we'll see what this signet, its power, does. Okay, okay. Children's class, short leggers. Boy, you look, he like, man. Man, we gotta go to school. I was enjoying this. Yeah, y'all gotta go, short leggers.
He looking at me
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
Come on, man, we busted. Y'all can eat back there. Go ahead, bro. Y'all good.
What's the Hebrew number for signet again?
2368. What is a signet?
Kotham.
How's it pronounced?
Kotham or Kotham. It's a seal, signet ring.
Signet what?
Ring.
Okay.
From H2856, a signature ring, seal, signet.
That's it?
Unless you want me to read
He can read more, but all you'll get to is where it says also authority. Because those signet rings were given out a lot of times and given power and authority. So we're going to get down to if a ring constitutes idolatry, or is it something that's been going on in the Most High hierarchy all along? Satan just brought new drama with it. And we're going to deal with all of the biblical rings of gold, from the nose, from the hand, and from the ear. The biblical rings of gold and how they relate to these scriptures, y'all. And we'll get a clear understanding and let the chips fall where they may. So we're going to first start off, y'all, in Ezekiel 16, because the Most High, we know Jeremiah 3:14, he's married unto us. We know we got married at Mount Sinai. Adam and Eve was married in the Garden of Eden. The Father brought Eve unto Adam. The Father walked Eve down the aisle to Adam. So we see where it started at. And let's get some understanding today, y'all. We're going to see how the Most High deals with when he married Israel. Like I say, you can see, verified Jeremiah 3:14, I'm married to you. Mount Sinai, whether you want to believe it or not, was a marriage ceremony.
And a vow was made.
Absolutely.
A marriage vow was made, and Israel said that we will do.
Ain't that what you do at a marriage ceremony? I do it. Ain't that what we said?
We do it.
But look, and then it say, well, there's never been a marriage certificate. What do you think the 10 Commandments was?
Exactly.
When he walked back down there with 2 stones in his hands, written by who? By his what? His finger? To prove to y'all, here's the marriage certificate, Israel.
Exodus 33, Exodus 34, Exodus 31.
We's married now. Here's the rules of the covenant. And then we got sprinkled with the blood like you go to the bed chambers to
consummate the marriage.
To consummate the marriage. We were sprinkled with that type of blood just like it would be if you had a virgin. And the hymen blood, the father would get the sheep and hang on to it to prove in case an evil name was brought up on his daughter. Because that's different from menstrual. It's a total different one. It gives a different understanding. But that 10 Commandments was the marriage certificate. It's in the front of everything you got. You have it at your house, all over. It's the marriage certificate. is what you put your hand on court and you say, I'm putting my hand on the covenant, the marriage certificate that I agreed to.
And it's displayed before the public. It becomes public record that everyone can look it up and see who you are joined to.
See who you married to, right? Hit a little bit of Jeremiah 3 for me, just so we get that understanding and we'll move on. And I'm not just pushing this toward marriage in itself. I'm pushing it toward gifts. Because gifts are what? If somebody give you a gift, did you pay for it? Is eternal life free? It's based on a condition. People give you gifts based on something that they believe
You're worthy of.
you're worthy of. You did a good thing for me. Here's a gift for you. Now, if that gift come with conditions, then there's a problem. If you take this ring and it say, or this earring, or this arm ring, or this hand ring, but these are the rules of it, and you make a vow with that, then you got a total different situation you dealing with. But this today, what we're going to get an understanding of, Satan copied something. He copied how marriage was, but he put a twist on it. He copied that, didn't he? But he don't do 7. How many he do? 9. He do 9 branches on the menorah. But all throughout the scripture it's 7. Still a menorah, but he adding to it. So we're just getting rid of the additives from the scripture. Just like y'all, we have to be able to agree. Amos 3:3, how can 2 walk together lest they be agreed? So understand that. We're in agreement with these holy scriptures. Anything outside these scriptures that's come into these scriptures, we're not going to agree with it under no circumstances.
No.
So let's get it. Let's hit that Ezekiel 16. We'll start about verse 12.
You want Jeremiah 3?
Yeah, I want that first, didn't I? See, boy, these boys ready. Go ahead.
Where you want to start that 3?
Start at 1 and go to 14.
So here with verse 1, then jump down. Yeah.
Jump down to 14?
Yeah.
Yo.
I just want to get where we married to him.
Yeah.
And then get...
that 1 and 2 because it goes with the fact of the bill of divorcement that was given.
That's in 8, ain't it? Jeremiah 8. 3 and 8 first?
Yeah, well, 3 and 1
Yeah.
breaks down him putting away.
Yes, sir.
Putting away of the wife.
Okay.
Then it jumps down. So we can go 3, verse 1 and 2. Then you can jump down to 8 and 8 through 14.
Okay.
Let's get it, y'all.
All right, we'll be reading in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, starting at verse 1. And it reads, they say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Excuse me, can you give us a little time?
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem, bro. No, I mentioned Ezekiel. I just mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah, we tarry for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is perfect to go down that, Elijah, because it's going to match up with that Ezekiel 16 we're going with.
I'm ready now.
All right.
We're going to put this to bed today.
Yeah.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Then they say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Lift up thine eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lain with. In the ways hast thou sat for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness.
Hit that 3-2, bro.
Yeah.
Jump down to that 8.
Verse 3, therefore the showers have been withholden, and there hath been no latter rain, and thou hadst a whore's forehead. Thou refusest to be ashamed.
Yes, sir.
We jump to verse 8. And I saw when, for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away, and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also.
So we can hold there so you can see what this chapter starts out is with. No, we're going to read on down to the I'm married to you. But you see he's starting off, he's saying it's a problem right off with Israel. They horn around spiritually. We attach to every God. We Muslims, we Christians, we Buddhists, we Baptists, we Methodists, on the spiritual side of it. That also filters down into the physical form of this as well. And it'll happen there because if it's not accounted for responsibly on the spiritual level, down in the fleshly level, it's coming next and it's going to be worse. Because the flesh is going to act out what's inside. And it's going to demonstrate it before all man to see. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 9. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks.
So this is where we're getting to, very powerful, so with stones or stocks. So this is why we're dealing with the biblical ring of gold today. Is it included a marriage or a man give a gift to his wife? Is it included with the stones and stocks? A lot of talk out there, y'all. But understand one thing, we're still talking about a gift. A gift comes with no type of restrictions. You can't give somebody something and then say, but wait a minute. Only if that requires, that gift requires for you to share it with somebody else. This is how you pass this gift along. I got it for free. I'm going to pass it along for what?
For free.
Because it's a what?
It's a gift.
A gift. So if that gift comes with restrictions that make you worship something else, we got issues then. Because now that gift has become a manipulator in your thought process. And we know that's going to always be a problem. Let's get it.
Verse 10. And yet, for all this, her treacherous sister Judah hath not turned unto me with her whole heart, but feignedly, saith the Most High. And the Most High said unto me, the backsliding Israel hath justified herself more than treacherous Judah. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Most High, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you. For I am merciful, saith the Most High, and I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge thine iniquity.
Only do what?
Only acknowledge thine iniquity.
Right.
That thou hast transgressed against the Most High, thy Elohim, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree. And ye have not obeyed my voice, saith Yahweh.
And it's the same thing in the book of 1 John chapter 1 verse 8. Turn back to me. If you acknowledge your sin, I will hear you. So y'all, that's the only first way back to the Most High, is to acknowledge what sin is. But if you belong to a doctrine that teach there's no law, or you don't have to keep law, there's no sin. Because sin is what?
Transgression.
So if you ain't got no law, then there's no sin. So for you to be sitting in a church or a doctrine that teach there's no law, you're wasting your time. You're just there for entertainment. Because how can anybody point out wrong when there's no law? Can you? What you gonna say? What you gonna compare it to? And if you compare it to this, then you got to compare it to the punishment of law breaking. Go ahead, bro, read some more.
Verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahweh, for I am married unto you.
For he is what?
I am married unto you. And I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion.
After we turn from our backslide, because he said, I'm married to you. First thing it was in this Jeremiah 1, it asked, can a man take a wife back that he put away? Because the law say you can't if she be married to somebody else. But guess what, y'all? Israel ain't never been married to nobody else. We still can't play. We still captive. We've been playing the whore. Who claiming Israel? Who's claiming us? What African nation is claiming us? Out of all of them over there, have any one of them called? We're calling for our marriage, brother, our kinfolk, that you send our marriage partners back home. Y'all heard any Africans say that yet?
No.
Y'all heard any other nation say that about us? Is any other nation taking on this people with bywords and proverbs of their nationhood? Who's taking on the African American, the colored, the Negro, the African American, the blacks, the Afro American, named after a hairstyle?
Changes every 20 years.
The dread American.
Hey.
The gray low-cut American. The bald, great, well, still got right, some stubbles, right. Right. So y'all, we understand this people who he's married to, ain't nobody claimed us yet. And then the same thing as Deuteronomy 28, the last verse saying, no man shall buy you, no man shall purchase you out of this slavery. Right. Ain't nobody redeemed us. We still looking for 40 acres and a mule, ain't it? Why we still talking about that?
Reparation.
Who done bought us back? Who? They gave the Indians they reps, didn't they? And casino. What we get? We got promised 40 acres and a mule. Who got theirs?
Still getting shot dead in the streets.
Let's get some more of this.
And also,
I think,
if you
go ahead,
tied in Hosea chapter 2, 19 and 20 to that Jeremiah 3:14.
Yeah.
Because he says, I'm betrothed to you.
That's right.
I will betroth you unto me. So it ain't just one time in here. I mean, he reiterates everything throughout the whole course. That's why he say, I come in the volume of the book.
That's right. And y'all look at it, when he said, I'm married unto you, when did that take place? This is what everybody got to ask the question. Huh?
Hosea chapter 2, verse 19 and 20.
Yeah. So y'all, the question is, when did we get married to the Most High? When did that ceremony take place in the scriptures from Genesis up to this Jeremiah? When did that take place? Where did it happen at? We know where it happened, at Mount Sinai. Everybody got the writings up on their wall, don't they? You got your marriage certificate, don't you? Who ain't got theirs up on their wall or around for somebody to see it? Who you married to?
Well, mine ain't displayed, but everybody know who my wife is.
Right, but it's still, and it's like what we're talking about, these biblical rings of gold. It better be here, though.
Right.
If it ain't on the wall, it better be in here, first up here, and then here. Because this sends thought through the heart that pump that blood, either righteousness or wickedness. So this pump better be pumping pure blood. Righteous blood, or it's going to be problems for you. You're going to get sick, and sick in the what? What did they always test in the test for sickness?
Your blood.
The blood. The life source. Let's get some more. Where we at? Just hit that verse 15. We're going to move this Ezekiel 16.
Verse 15.
What it say?
And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
So we see, he said, if I give you pastors with mine heart or the mind of the Lord, that shall feed you with knowledge and understanding about his word. It's not about nobody else's word. I'm going to help you with the heavens being higher than the earth, like the Lord's ways are higher than man's way. But I'm going to tell you the difference in the highness. So you can respect that highness. So you understand that highness, and you'll never get what's called high-minded. Let's get some more. We good with that?
Yeah,
Ezekiel
yes,
16.
Start in verse 1.
We'll start
12.
12. Yeah, we're going to start 12.
Okay.
And y'all, what we're doing is getting some understanding on biblical rings of gold. When you attach one title to it, then you limit the Bible when it's talking about a ring of gold. There's several rings of gold, just like there's several ways to be baptized. The scripture say we were baptized coming through the Red Sea. And nobody's feet got wet. It say they went across dry ground, and not one sandal got wet, but they were baptized. The Holy Spirit is prophesied in the book of Malachi. And the Messiah saying, I am going to baptize you with fire. So there's multiple ways to be baptized. It ain't just water. One supersedes the other. Just like the biblical rings of gold not only apply to a finger, it applied to an ear, it applied to a wrist, it applied to an armband, a ring of gold. When the man found Saul dead, he pulled off his crown, and it said pulled his ring of gold off his forearm and took it back to David. Yeah, he did, David. They worked him over. So you got men wearing earrings, bracelets, rings, giving rings, and we're going to compare it to what's being taught out there. Are you truly married to the state? If you gave your wife a gift of a wedding ring, are you in idolatry marriage, so to speak? That all depends on what you said when you gave that gift to each other. But to just exclude it all together and say the Bible said it, it ain't written in these pages. What's written in it is the behavior with the biblical rings of gold that's always been around. Let's get Ezekiel 16. Start at 8.
No, brother. You're going to have to start at 2.
Huh?
Start at 2.
2?
Start at 1.
Start at 1. Y'all right there. Ain't no need. Yeah, we just going to keep it moving. Let's get it.
That's just how it works around here.
Yes, sir. Anybody got any questions as we go along, please raise your hand. Go ahead, sis, what you got?
The rings that you talked about that's on a man, is that given by God or by his wife?
We gonna see it explained. Well, God, I mean, unless he come and show up at a wedding. I ain't seen him show up at no wedding. He didn't show up at mine like that. He was there in the spirit, I pray and hope. But, I mean, just physically walk in and he's the best man with the ring? Yeah, I ain't, no, he don't. That may have happened with Adam and Eve, but you know what I'm saying, but not physically. The spirit, the authority is given. That's why we read that Jeremiah the 15th verse. He said, and I will give you pastors. Mine understanding. You got to understand what we're up against, the imitator. He has a pastor too for a marriage. And he says, I dictate y'all vows to y'all. Instead of you dictating your vows between you and your wife, husband and wife, like Numbers 30 say. Y'all read the whole chapter of number 30 that talks about the vow of the man and woman. He can't dictate your vows because you have to live according to what he said to you. If that's been done, then you have to live up to what you agreed to or get it redone. Let's get some more. Where we at?
We're reading in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, starting at verse 1.
Yes, sir.
And it reads, Again the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus saith the Most High Yah unto Jerusalem, Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan.
Right.
Thy father was an Amorite.
Right.
And thy mother an Hittite.
See, so right here, this throws a lot of people off. We explained this last week that when you see Jerusalem, it's saying the father is a Hittite. So these are Hamite and African nations. What it's talking about, this is a land prophecy starting off. It's talking about the land of Jerusalem, and when we got there, who the original inhabitants of that land was. The father of that land. Like they're saying now, even though they had people living here, they say George Washington is the father of what? This nation. He's the father of the nation. Like Abraham is the father. We call him what? Father who? Abraham. So y'all, this is giving out who controlled Jerusalem before the nation of Israel ever set foot in there as a powerhouse. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 4. And as for thy nativity, in the day thou was born, thy navel was not cut, neither was thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all.
Because we did some things coming out of Egypt. We had to be cleaned up. So we were coming out where we had to be retaught the law. That's what we were given at Mount Sinai and the covenant. But we were coming out of a dirty womb, y'all, so to speak. Coming out of Egypt. Go ahead. Abominations.
All kind of wicked customs and traditions.
Yes, sir. All of Leviticus 18 and 20, we were told, be not like this people. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 5. None I pitied thee, to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee. But thou wast cast out in the open field, to the loathing of thy person in the day that thou wast born. And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee when thou wast in thy blood, live.
What'd he say?
Live.
Ain't that what we always ask? Can these bones live? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I said unto thee when thou wast in thy blood, live. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, and thine hair is grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare.
See, so what he's talking about is when I came to you, Israel, you were in this state. Your wall wasn't up, so to speak, because he's comparing us to a young virgin. He's saying, look, you had no wall up. And it wasn't no covering there on the fleshly part first. You didn't have breasts, so to speak. You didn't have hair covering the secret parts. He's expressing this. We're in our nativity at this point. So this is a living book, so it's getting real, y'all. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 8. Now, when I passed by thee and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love. So
he's saying basically now it's time to spiritually have mental what you would consider or we would look at as intercourse with Israel in this marriage now. You're perfect now. You done been through the drama coming out of that bad room. I got your mind right. I'm taking you. You're born again. We finna start over like you being birthed again. And before I get with you and put this knowledge in you, I'm gonna make sure you old enough and wise enough, and I'm not giving this to you while you're too young to take on this responsibility of a wife, so to speak, talking to the house of Israel. Go ahead.
And I spread my skirt over thee.
What'd he do?
Spread his skirt over thee. And covered thy nakedness.
See, covered thy nakedness. And when we look at these scripts, always when it's talking about nakedness, like in the garden, the father asked, who told you, Adam, y'all was naked? And we're talking about a spiritual nakedness where innocence has been removed from you because you've done this illegally against the way the laws set it for it to go. Who told you y'all done messed up? Who told you? What you been doing? Have you listened to who you ain't supposed to be listening to? Is the first question he asked. Adam bailed immediately. Wasn't me. It was her. That woman you gave to me, I was cool at first by myself. No, you wasn't.
With that dragon woman.
Right. So now he go to the woman. What have you done? Have you done what I told you not to do? So y'all, after that, we at today. Trying to get it right before we go back home. So he can spread his skirt over us again, because we're coming to another marriage ceremony that Revelation 19 talking about. The marriage supper of the Lamb. If you ain't got no invitation, guess where you gonna be married to and where? You better try to get an invitation, y'all. RSVP it as fast as you get it. Let's get some more. Where we at?
We're in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, continuation of verse 8. And covered thy nakedness. Yea, I swear unto thee, and entered into a covenant with thee.
Entered into a what?
A covenant with thee.
What is a covenant, y'all? It's an agreement that we gonna walk together like this, in agreement. This is what I agreed to y'all with, and it was wrote down on 2 tables of stone, the agreement. You can call it what you want it, but it's still a certificate that you present to somebody. This is who my husband is, the author of these 10 commandments. If anybody asks you who you married to, Israel, the author of this document, the 10 commandments, he wrote that with his finger. Let's get some more.
Saith the Most High Yah, and thou becamest mine.
What thou becomest?
His.
See, there has to be a covenant before you can become what it's saying, mine. But you can't have no possession with no receipt. You got a death certificate. You got a birth certificate. You got a social security card. But the most prized possession, you have no receipt. And when you have no receipt, you got to come up with other documents, because you don't have the receipt required. You have to go back and find some more information. Look for old school ID, something to prove it. Go ahead.
Verse 9.
What it say?
Then washed I thee with water. Yea, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil. I clothed thee also with broidered work, and shod thee with badger skin, and I girded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk.
Now, this is how the Messiah say he took care of his bride. Let's start it off. I clothe thee. This is what it say. If you get a woman, you got to be able to clothe her.
These Negroes ain't clothed in nothing.
I clothe thee also with broidered work. Let's get this understood. Wasn't just no hand-me-down.
No. Wasn't that flea market clothes?
No. I shod thee with badger skin. Why y'all think we like gators and snakes and lizards, animals, dangerous animal shoes? He's shodding us with badger skins right here. These waterproof shoes. They dangerous animals though.
Because a badger tears something up, boy.
Yeah.
And thee about with fine linen. I'm not talking about some just saying this may be linen and you look at the ingredient and it's mostly some other material. Just wash it and put it in the dryer and see what happens. You'll see how much linen's in it, because you're going to have to give it to your grandchildren. I girded thee about with fine linen. This is how he came and took care of his bride, because it costs to take care of a bride. They're females. They come with a fee. You may not like the fee, but that's what it comes with. If you try to make it a free male, you're going to end up paying anyway. And we're going to run over some examples of paying anyway. And I'm talking about paying dearly.
You coming up off some money.
Jameis Winston wanted to have it free, and now he's paying millions of dollars, everybody, millions of dollars, and all you did was touched it illegally. And what he's gonna pay out in fines will set us all down here straight on Easy Street. Let's get some more.
Verse 11.
What it say?
I deck thee also with ornaments.
What is ornaments? Give me ornaments. Let's get some understanding about this, y'all. And this is not, I'm trying to force a way or doctrine of what I'm saying is, I'm saying if you're gonna pattern yourself after something, pattern after what's written in the book.
Righteousness. Now we scream righteousness and pattern ourselves out the righteousness in one breath, but then we want to lean to our own understanding when it doesn't fit our bill.
Right.
Crazy. Foolishness.
Is faith without works?
Foolishness.
Is talking without deeds. They both have to go hand in hand. What you say has to be seen in your movement because it's a living book. It's not just a conversation piece. You just can't walk around with it like it's a fashion, like it's Gucci. Oh, I see you have your script and you have a dangerous animal cover over it. But ain't been inside of it. It's just an accessory. Talking with it, walking with it. Then when you get back home, you put it where you put all your other accessories up on the shelf. Till I need to bring it out again and let some more people see my accessory. But it don't make you unless you work it. Let's get it. Where we at?
You want that ornament?
Yeah, ornament. Go ahead.
Ornaments 57:16.
What it say?
Ornaments, trappings, in the sense of trappings, finery, general, and outfit, especially a headstall, excellent mouth ornament.
So an ornament, an object given, I deck you with fine ornaments. Now there's unfine ornaments, if that's a word, that'll be given to you that we're gonna read about. Go ahead, get some more, bro.
Verse 11. I deck thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hand.
Now, if he put bracelets on your hand, is a wrist part of the hand, or is he talking about the hand? Or is he just talking about the wrist? Is the wrist considered part of the hand, or is he talking about the hand? If you put it on the hand, then you put it on the what? You can't put no band, you can't wear no ring around here, can you?
Then it's upon our finger.
So, or is the wrist part of the hand? Let's get some more. Go ahead.
And the chain on thy neck.
And a what?
And the chain on thy neck.
And some jewelry. Y'all think, why do y'all think all the hip hop, the first thing they do to get an artist is a chain? What they're trying to do is marry you like the Most High did. But you're selling your soul. They give you a gold chain. They give you a silk outfit. But guess what? You got to get put on the casting couch. And they're going to show you how they get married to you in the entertainment business. But the same way, ain't it? Send you to Jacob the Jewelers. Everybody got on their wedding outfit of who they married to. Where you think the entertainment business got it from? And just flipped it around. Look, I see in there y'all in Psalm, y'all used to sing hymns and songs to the Lord. And you were singing them in righteousness. Now we want you to sing them in sin.
To Satan.
Dressed out in our clothing. Show that we done spread our skirt over you. Sing now. Sing sin. Drop it low, drop it low. Pick it up, drop it back down. Drop it low, drop it low. Bend it over, bend it over. Drop it low, drop it low. Go ahead, Lisa, what you say? Go ahead, bro. Cut you off there.
But you notice they have the biggest rings on their fingers.
Yeah.
All lavished all on their wrists, their necks. $18 million. Yeah. But you notice the difference in the ones that promote the most foulest in the music industry are covered with jewels and ornaments.
Yes, sir.
The ones who promote kind of righteousness and everything are the most meekness. They don't have all
Be
that
blinged
because
out.
They don't present that to them because they know they're not married unto that.
Right.
They seek marriage to another way. And so they won't conform to the wickedness, the pure wickedness that they're offering.
You're right.
So they don't get the big chains and the flashy rings and all that. But the other ones do. Homosexuality at a high rate.
And why you think they don't give it to all of the other artists of other nations? If they do get it, they're saying we're copying off of Israel.
Yeah, but Israel is
We
the
see
prize.
Israel like that.
Israel
That's where
is
we
the
getting
prize.
this behavior from.
Israel is the prize.
And they mimic us in our sin, not in our righteousness. Let's get some more. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
What it say?
And I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head. Thus was thou decked with gold and silver.
Well, now you see them words, y'all. When we used to say back in the day, boy, you decked out. Boy, I was decked out, man. Look at this photo. Yeah, you was decked out, dog. All of this come from the living book. So we talk the living language. Go ahead, bro.
And thy raiment was of fine linen, and silk, and broidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour, and honey, and oil. And thou was exceeding beautiful. And thou didst prosper into a kingdom. And thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty.
See, all over the world was talking about Israel decked out like this in righteousness at one time. That it is. That's the people of the book. That it is, decked out. It was going forth all over the whole world. But look at us now. On the front page of the world, the first 6 pages. Israel. Robbing, killing, stealing, murdering. Israel. Who else got a paper like that called the world? What other nation? Y'all seen the Hindu Gazette? He hung high, kills, he hung low. Where y'all seen that at in a gas station? About a nation of people crimes in 1 week. Go ahead, bro.
Israel has become Isaiah chapter 3.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14. And thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty, for it was perfect through my comeliness, which I had put upon thee, saith the Most High Yah. But thou didst trust in thine own
What
beauty.
did thou do?
Trust in thine own beauty.
See, y'all, now this is where it turns the corner and beauty get ugly. So now gifts become with rules.
Stipulations.
Stipulations. If you don't have 3 months salary when you go to Jared's, don't go. 3 months salary and all of the monthly other bills, it's gonna be one or the other. Either you're gonna have a fabulous ring and we're gonna be living outside, or we're gonna say these vows and when the time comes, we'll get one or a gift. And if we don't, so be it, because it don't say you have to do it. But you have to get a covenant of vows so that you keep everybody out of your business and nobody can say, hey, well, she said he doing this. Well, he said she doing that. Let's see what the vows say that they agree to. If they're public, we was there. We heard what he said. We heard what she said. So that's where the judgment will come from the public acknowledgement. We heard what y'all said to each other. Saw how you was looking. Hurry up and said, let's hurry up and get to the first dance because we got to be out of here. Cans dragging the car after the first day. They're like, damn, they trying to hurry up and get to the honeymoon, ain't they? There ain't nobody ate yet. Go ahead, y'all.
That's moving.
Yeah.
Cans on the first day.
Dragging the car. They done took off, man. The DJ ain't.
You play the first song.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 15. Verse 15. Can't see.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, you crazy. Verse 15. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and playest the harlot because of thy renown, and pourest out thy fornications on every one that passed by. His it was.
Just throwing it out there.
Woo.
We came a mattress back as a nation. Just had a strap to it. Lay down anywhere with any doctrine. What'd you say, sister? Go ahead.
Verse 16. And of thy garments thou didst take, and deckest thy high places with diverse colors, and playest the harlot thereupon. The like things shall not come, neither shall it be so.
Don't you say we battle spiritual wickedness in
Yeah.
high places?
Yeah.
So these wicked institutions and this wicked doctrine is being dressed up. This fornication is being paraded around with this mirage.
Yeah. Ain't real.
It ain't real.
Look like it is.
Has the false appearance of beauty and marriage and unity and everything that's righteous.
But it's just a
underneath it,
mirage.
It's all a mirage. It's fake. It's pseudo.
Let's get some up.
Verse 17. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I had given thee.
Which I have did what?
Given thee. And madest to thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them, and tookest thy broidered garments, and coverest them. And thou hast set mine oil and mine incense before them.
So Lucifer gets us to do the same thing like with the Pharisees. He said, you broaden your phylacteries and the hem of your garments. That ain't what I gave y'all and told y'all to put on. Y'all done moved this to another level. For what? This is about men? Y'all hoeing around, ain't you, Israel? Them ain't my clothes. Where we at?
We're at verse 19. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16 and verse 19. My meat also which I gave thee, fine flour and oil and honey, wherewith I fed thee.
Wherewith I did what?
I fed thee. Thou hast even set it before them for a sweet savor. And thus it was, saith the Most High Yah. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast borne unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter?
See, this is the question gotta be asked. Y'all think this is just a small matter? Do we take marriage so lightly, like it's a small matter, and it started off in the garden and hit Mount Sinai, and then it's gonna end in a marriage at Revelation 19:7, the marriage supper of the Lamb? You ain't got no invitation, y'all. Guess what? And you get your fine silk and linen to come to this marriage supper of the Lamb that you're invited to. And when everybody look, they say, this is the wedding party. You know how we clap for them going down the aisle? Yep. All the nations of the world will be clapping. Look at the wedding party going down. The marriage supper of the Lamb taking place. All the nations looking and clapping. Yeah. Daryl start out, she's your queen. Go ahead, D. I'm just messing with you, D. Go ahead.
And you can blow it just like that.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 21.
What is it?
That thou hast slain my children and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them.
So we got started going downhill at a rapid pace. Y'all look, Planned Parenthood and all of these places sitting on every one of our corner is based upon our bad behavior. If you married, you don't go in them doors. You like, look, girl, chill. I just got my first Social Security check. What you mean you pregnant? You about to be a daddy. Get your swing skills pushing together. But you can't go to that office on the corner because you that old. That baby have to be born. Those offices are set up for bad marriages. And I thought you said you was on the pill. I thought you said you was only going to put the covenant in.
Uh-oh.
So now we got to go to that building that they set up on the corner. Y'all, because they put a liquor store and a gun shop on every corner don't mean we have to go in there and participate. They set them up on the corners like that for the lawless of Israel to come in there and shop with them. Let's get some more. We good right there. Let's get right to another one.
Hit that verse 32.
You want to hit that 32? Okay.
Hit
30 down.
30, yeah, 30 on down to.
In the same Ezekiel, I was just gonna jump to 30 through 34. Yeah.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16 and verse 30, and it reads, "How weak is thine heart, saith the Most High Power, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious whorish woman, in that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way, and makest thine high place in every street, and hast not been as an harlot, in that thou scornest hire, but as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband. They give gifts to all whores. They give gifts to all whores."
See, this is why it's saying there ain't no such thing as a free male. You gonna pay. No matter how you do it, you may pay rent this week. You may pay for that refrigerator. You may pay for her cable, but you gonna pay. And if you don't try to, don't pay or fail to pay, guess what you're gonna end up doing? At the doctor's office with him holding your covenant and asking you why is green stuff coming out of your covenant. And you sitting there, I don't know. I don't know why that green stuff coming out of my covenant. Well, here, take these pills to stop that green stuff, that gangrene coming out of your covenant. What you look like sitting up in the doctor's office, your covenant leaking like that?
Nasty.
Who you gonna pull them shorts off around?
The same imperious whores.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She gonna accept.
I see you leaking, Daddy. Come on. There you go. How much is the gift? Let's get some more.
Verse 33.
What it say?
"They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers, and hirest them, that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom."
See, it even say like they give, whores get gifts, but y'all just give it away. Y'all just hiking y'all skirt up on every corner. Free male. Israel, I'm a free male. At least if you're going to be a harlot, get something for it. But we just giving it away to every nation. Free male over here. Go ahead.
Verse 34. "And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredom, whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredoms, and in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary."
You see, we can hold that and y'all can read the rest of that and y'all see how he gets into this. But we're going to get into the book of Haggai. If I'm pronouncing that right, the 2nd chapter. We're going to move through these pretty quick, y'all. Then we're going to get to down about biblical rings of gold and how they apply to the Most High? And did he ever involve any of this in? We done already seen in Ezekiel 16 the gifts he give out. We're going to get into Isaac and Rebekah. Y'all, and by no way, shape, or form are we putting any type of pressure on anyone. We're just telling you what's already there. Somebody copied off of this and turned it another way. And where they put restrictions on ornaments and jewelry, because he's telling us y'all went from a normal way to doing it this way. So now y'all got a whole nother way of how y'all do the signet, the ring of gold.
And the context in which you're using it.
And what you're using it for.
But to put it out there, because also it's being said, and it's gonna come up and y'all gonna run into it, some of you. But a question was asked, was wedding rings abominable, or could wedding rings bring condemnation if one had one?
And see, and notice.
And so there's brothers out here that spreading the doctrine that if you had a wedding band, that you're following pagan customs and that you would be condemned to everlasting torment because of a wedding band.
Yeah.
This is out there. Also saying that oaths and ceremonies are a part of Hashatan's divine wicked plan. So I'm just putting it out there so you know when you see it or hear it, it's there. This is why we covering these scripts. So you have an understanding of when you hear this doctrine being, now understand, the ring does not define the marriage.
Right.
It does not define the marriage by any means. It's just a signet, it's an ornament. That's all it is. To give those who are not aware the understanding that I am spoken for, I have a covering. Now whether you and your mate chooses not to wear it, that's one thing. That's a personal preference.
That's right.
At your own discretion. But the question was asked, is it abominable and will it cause you condemnation? No.
Because we got to get past the Most High doing it first.
No.
That's what we have to get past. See, so he's telling us this is the way you do it. Don't do it that way. Because your beauty, you didn't like the way I said do it, so you're going to do it your way. Y'all, and that's where the problem come in at. All the girls at work say you must go to Jared's. They running a special. You need 3 years salary. That's a problem. That's something you know you can't deal with. You working 2 jobs, driving Uber and a Marcella cab. How long you think you're gonna be able to do that?
But then it also comes down to, you know how we say we always go to the root of things, the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning was always a righteous beginning. Most High created everything. It was a righteous beginning. Everything that came after is an imitation.
That's right.
A copycat. But you have to watch out that copycat, because this copycat has a whole wicked doctrine that comes with his. So if you saying that wedding bands and everything come from Satan, you saying that Satan's doctrine was more powerful and put on this earth before Christ.
That's what you're saying.
So you're giving more credence to the doctrine of Satan, Hashatan, than you are to the Creator, the Most High God and His Holy Begotten Son.
Because you first got to at least explain these scriptures away of the Most High doing it. You first got to at least move that. And if you think Ezekiel 16 was talking about a wedding band, you're dead wrong because such and such, such and such. But if you don't mention that, you cheat. You know it's in here. But if I don't show you that, then you ain't going to ask about that.
But be careful of semantics.
Yeah.
Wordplay, word games. We don't say wedding ring. Come on, man.
It say biblical rings of gold. That's all you gonna read. And it says nose, hand, and ear are biblical rings of gold that's been given out as gifts from day one. Now, when we get into what rings Joseph and Daniel was given, we're gonna see if they was married to the state.
Right. Because this is where the comparison.
This is where it's gonna come down to. We gonna see if that ring, and it's a signet ring.
A signet ring.
It's a ring of authority, like you give a ring to your other half as a signet of authority. If anything happened to me, the one with the ring is the one you need to be talking to. Or if it's a bracelet, the one with that earring in her ear, that's the one. Got the authority. That's what I gave her on the wedding day. An earring. It ain't got to be on the finger.
But I was told that Pharaoh married Joseph by giving him the ring.
He married Pharaoh's daughter
No,
and
he
had
said,
two
well,
children
did
by.
Pharaoh married Joseph. He gave him a ring.
And Joseph was dressed in all the Egyptian regalia.
His brothers didn't know him. He had on corporate clothes.
Was Pharaoh and Joseph married?
That's the question.
Was that a homosexual act then?
See, this is what we're talking about, y'all. He had on the tuxedo of that day, which happened to be Egyptian garb.
Right.
So, y'all, this is what we got to deal with. You got to deal with this side of it. It's always two sides, and then there's the truth. It's what God tell you to do, and it's what the devil tell you to do, and then it's the truth of the matter. Because guess what the devil gonna do? He always gonna ask you, what God tell you to do? Well, he told me to do it like this, but what do you really want?
I don't want to pay.
All that line dancing. I've been pole dancing. I want to pole dance on my first dance. And just snatch her wedding dress off and then a hooker uniform. Okay, I can set that up for you. I can set up a wedding just like that. What we gonna do about the two witnesses? Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. You can tell them after y'all are done. Let's get some more of this. Where we at?
Haggai.
Haggai, chapter 2. Let's hit about verse 23. Y'all gonna hit a couple one-hitters because we're gonna move right through this.
You said 23?
2 and 23, y'all. Everybody there? It's closer, right before Zechariah.
Only two chapters.
After Zephaniah. Y'all, we just gonna hit one, and how we gonna have to back this up is showing what the Most High did with Zerubbabel. If any of y'all ever done any study on his servant, Zerubbabel, we're gonna see what the Most High did for Zerubbabel. And we're gonna see he did the same thing to a wicked servant named Coniah that burned the scrolls. That he had gave a ring to. Let's get some more. Where we at? Haggai
Book of
2:23.
Haggai, chapter 2, verse 23.
How we looking, everybody there? Take your time. Right, a couple books before Matthew.
One book before Zechariah.
Tell you what, back it up to verse 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We'll get that 20, y'all. We're gonna get some understanding here today, y'all, because this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. When you have a deceiver or you've been deceived, it's by something you thought was real. Lucifer is not going to deceive you with a process that you know to stay away from. If you've been warned this is bad, he don't bring that. He makes it look almost just like the real. Just a little bit. Because a little what?
11 the
whole law. If I can get you into a biblical ring of gold war with your better half before you even make the deal, you done got in too deep already. You can't worry about what them people saying about Jared's. Did he go to Jared's, girl? No, he went to Earl. He had hot jewelry in his trunk. He worked for the pawn shop on the weekend. Nice, ain't it? Yeah, it is nice. How much you pay for that? Let's get some more, y'all.
Book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 20. We there? Everybody there? And again, the word of the Most High came unto Haggai in the 4th and 20th day of the month, saying, speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah.
What was he?
Governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. In that day, saith the Most High of hosts, will I take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant.
My what?
My servant.
Uh-huh.
The son of Shealtiel, saith the Most High, and will make thee as a signet.
As a what?
Signet.
Uh-huh.
For I have chosen thee, saith the Most High of hosts.
See, he said, I will make thee as a signet. So I will give you a ring of authority in that day. What's that noise?
Sound like water.
A whole lot of.
Tell him to hit that switch a couple times. You know, shake it up and down. What happened?
Spread everywhere.
On the floor now?
She don't know.
Put that on pause for just a second. What happened to that?
They said 2 minutes, but the noise ain't stopped yet. That sounds like it's going everywhere.
Shalom, myself.
Governor, the king, the same thing.
The governor? Would you say what?
Governor, the king, are they the same thing?
No. The governor is lower. The governor is a lower position than the king.
Yeah, like the president and governor.
King is the, yeah, like the president and the governor.
Oh,
Yeah. Exactly. Your son-in-law spirit been vexed, ain't it?
For mine. You know what? He not really.
He ain't driven. He got a strong spirit.
He really tripping.
But he has.
Yeah, because they've been bringing it to him when they singing it. Just
I told him stand fast in his faith.
Good. Yeah, brother thought that was a shower. He full of soap and his eyes bring on out of there.
Full of soap.
Yeah. Right. Let's get it. Well, we can go ahead and get it back. Where everybody else? Ariel, where you go?
With you?
All right, y'all, come on out of there. Yeah. That boy was subbed up.
But jump in that too.
Yeah, we get maintenance on that ASAP.
What happened?
Huh?
What?
Oh, just the switch on the urinal just
Just
kept flowing.
one of the seatings in there needed to be changed.
Yeah. Was able to turn that off. Everything else is on, y'all. Let's get it.
That was it for that.
That was it for Haggai. Let's get right to Jeremiah 22, verse 24, y'all. And then we're going to get into the heart of the matter to see how it went south on us, or when man was giving other signets or rings of gold. Were they married to the state? Did the Most High say what you got on is a signet of abomination? Let's get it. Where we at?
Jeremiah 22. What verse you want to start at?
Start about 24. We just gonna probably a quick one hitter. And this is Konai, y'all, that y'all read about in Matthew 1. burn the scrolls of Israel, burn the Bibles, an Israelite. This is the same line when it's given the lineage of Joseph, that he's in the line of this man. He descended from this man.
And no man would ever sit on a throne coming out of this line again.
Out of this line again. So this line is moving Joseph out of the way of being Christ's natural father. Let's get some more, y'all. Where we
Jeremiah chapter 22, excuse me, verse 24. As I live, saith the Most High, through Coniah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, were the signet upon my right hand.
Was what? Read that again.
As I live, saith the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Though Coniah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, were the signet upon my right hand.
See, he was the signet upon my right hand. He wore my ring. He had it on. We just did the definition of signet. A ring of authority. Whether it's a bracelet, whether it's a nose earring, whether whatever it is, however it's given to you, it has authority with it. It's called a signet. It means you have power when you put it on.
Do not the woman have the power over the children? Is she not in authority over the children? In the substance of the household while the husband is away? Isn't she next in command?
Yes,
is she not? Tell me.
Yeah, okay. I just want some answer. Go ahead, bro. Who got a question? Go ahead, sis.
Okay. In marriage, when a man puts the ring on his right hand and the woman puts the ring on her left hand, is that like a form of saying that the man is over the woman?
No, that's just some other covenant added in.
Oh, okay.
See, that's what we're getting away from. That's what they're saying. If you have a ring, that's the practice you're doing. See, we're trying to get away from that because the ring is a gift. It don't come with rules like that, that if the ring get lost, your covenant is through. That's what you got to remember. The vows supersede that. That's just a gift, a token. Like women, like the daughters of Laban that married Jacob, each one of them had a handmaid. I'm talking about her best friend or whatever that did her nails, her hair, her toe, whatever it did. It was her handmaid, her servant. She was in total control of that woman. That was not Jacob's property. She gave that property to Jacob. She did that as a gift. This is what I'll do for this gift. Have a baby by her. I can't have none. But no, this wasn't a pack 'em up, a stack 'em up move. This wasn't a free for all of the leaky covenant. Where we at, bro?
Oh, my mama used to give me that look.
Right.
Boy, what you say?
Where we at, bro? Did we finish 24?
No.
Okay.
Let me hit that 24 again.
Yeah.
As I live, saith the Most High, though Coniah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, were the signet upon my right hand, yet would I pluck thee thence.
See, and if you get back and say, well, at least put it on their right hand then. However you want to do it, player.
Whatever.
But the bottom line is you got a problem with a ring being up in here. And the Most High is doing it. So however your attitude is about it, if you say, well, you ain't doing it right, you putting it on the left hand, put it on the right hand, I ain't following your rules. This is what the Most High say, he put it on there right there. But the bottom line is, you're not going to switch from saying no ring to we'll do it that way then. You just troublemaking then at that point.
That's what it's nitpicking about.
You're
every little
nitpicking
thing.
about everything at that point because you end up saying, we'll do it that way anyway then. Well, okay, we'll stop this and let you know it ain't about this. Put it on your right hand then, or I'll just take it off. Who said I got to have it? Because it's still a gift. He said, I decked you out like that. I decked you out like that. But if you go get married in some jogging pants and he got on some Dickies and some Ock boots, he can do that. She can do that.
It doesn't disannul the covenant.
Absolutely.
Still a covenant that stands.
But if she got on a gown with a train on it, ain't no harm, no fault. It's where a man is at in his walk when he decides to take on this female. This part that comes with a fee, because it's going to be half of you. You ain't going to take care of half of you. That's not like not washing your feet when you take a shower.
Oh.
Talking about the soap suds running down there anyway. How you not going to take care of the other half of you?
But that goes into not taking care of nothing.
Yeah.
You'll find that if they deal, if there's a problem in this small matter, which is not a small matter, but if it's a problem with this, there's also problems with other aspects of their lives. It's just like when Peter says, those that have a problem with Paul's writings wrestle with all the other scriptures for their own destruction. It's no different.
Yes, sir.
It's a habit. It's a habit.
Yes, sir.
You'll find these are habit things, habitual things that are causing problems in other aspects of their lives too.
Constantly wrestling.
Constantly wrestling
Twisted.
with things. Everything, and you nitpick at every little thing. Every little thing. Nothing is right. Read on, brother.
Go ahead, bro.
I think we finished that.
We finished that. So just wanted to show y'all that again, that he had plucked that, but read that on down to the end because that's very important to moving Joseph out of the way of being the natural birth father of the Messiah, because can't no king sit back coming from his line. So the Messiah show couldn't have been called king again with that line being cursed on it. Go ahead.
Question, man.
Who got a question?
Online, Marquise Randall.
Yeah.
Says the man supposed to have a certain amount of money before taking a wife to marry.
He need enough that where he can take care of himself, her clothing, her raiment, and shelter for both of them. That must be met because the Messiah said, Job said, in the book of Job it talks about that. Food, raiment, and shelter. The Messiah talk about it. When you didn't give them food, raiment, and shelter, and we say, Lord, when did we not give you that? When you didn't give it to them, you ain't gave it to me. If you ain't gonna clothe what's next to you and take care of that, how you gonna take it, even come to me like that? You can't deal with what's right next with you.
He said you worse than an infidel to be like that.
So what brother's asking again?
His question was, is the man supposed to have a certain amount of money before taking a wife to marry?
He has the amount, the script say, with them according to knowledge. If you marry a woman, there's another term for those that say you must get down to Jared, or call a gold digger. You marry a gold digger on a working man's salary, you in trouble. You in trouble.
Yeah.
And he said don't complain about it after.
Right. So, yeah, you done committed yourself to that vow. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom.
You done committed yourself to that way. So, when you get with them, according to knowledge, if they have a mindset of being high price and high maintenance, and you got low pockets, if you find yourself doing the abracadabra all the time, patting your pockets wherever we at, come on, money, come on, money. What you patting for? Ain't nothing in there. Why everybody do that? Pat their pockets like
knowing doggone well ain't nothing in there.
You do better looking under the pillow. Maybe the tooth fairy left you something.
The radio station.
Okay. Let's get it. Where we at?
Oh, we're gonna read down. Verse 25.
What it say?
I'm gonna put on my
Yeah.
All right. And I will give thee into the hand of them that seek thy life, into the hand of them whose face thou fearest, even into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of the Chaldeans. And I will cast thee out, and thy mother that bare thee, into another country, where ye were born not, where ye were not born, and there ye shall die. But to the land whereunto they desire to return, thither shall they not return. Is this man Coniah a despised broken idol?
A broken what?
Broken idol. Is he a vessel wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into a land which they know not. O earth, 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 hear the word of the Most High.
He talking to the whole planet Earth. Wherever this man show up. Go ahead, bro.
Thus saith the Most High, write ye this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David and ruling any more in Judah.
So did he have any sons? Yes, he had any sons for it to get down to Joseph, but when he say count them childless, they don't have no inheritance at this point. It's just like you ain't even got it. It's like bastard children at this point. You have no inheritance. Wrote them off. It's like writing them out of the wheel.
He wrote them like, he played them like Hagar and Ishmael.
Yeah.
Cast them out into another country.
Yes, sir.
And remember, he said, this child should not be heir unto the seed with Isaac.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna run a couple of these of understanding gifts, and y'all, that's all it is on that day. What happens is we get into the traditions and customs, and you start chasing that, and you can't afford that. We're not telling you to do something you can't. We're just telling you on the level that the Most High did it, and on the level that they do you, the industry, when you marry other nations and covenants or get involved with them, they deck you out too. But they deck you out with the contract from evil. And you can't quit their contract. They work you to death. It's to death do you part with them. See, they work Michael Jackson and Prince to death. 300 million a piece, 500 for Michael, and you still working? You can't moonwalk no more. It look like you got gum on the bottom of your shoe. You sticking. And they talk about 50 concerts to go. Prince can't do them moves either. He got hip replacement on both hips. They like keep jumping and gyrating. You know the deal. Now you got to take fentanyl and all of them drugs to maintain that contract with them that say to death do you part.
Right.
Let's get some more of this.
Where we at? Look up that video of Bob Dylan. He was interviewed with the black dude, I forgot his name.
Rolling Stones, yeah, that all.
Yeah, he told him, he said, you, as old as you are, why are you still touring? He said, I gotta fulfill my contract.
Yeah.
He said, your contract with who? He said, the ruler of this earth.
Yeah.
And the one who's not seen, a lot of people can't see.
That's right. He sure did.
So he's like, so you got a contract? He said, yeah. He said, I'm torn. He said, I gotta fulfill my contract. He said, I promise, and I gotta uphold my end of the bargain.
Right. Hey, y'all think Mick Jagger's still out there? Mick Jagger and his buddy that played Keith Richards look both like they dead.
Walking dead.
It's like they just picked him up out of a casket and put him on stage. But they gonna work till the contract is over, and it's usually to death.
Yeah.
How you that old still trying to sell out stadiums? And then when you can't do that no more, they put you back on the chitlin circuit.
Yeah.
Now you doing gigs, small gigs at Henry Cafe on the corner of Cobrillion and Goodfellow, making whole 20 people.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody out there like you still packing arenas. Shout out to everybody out there tonight to come to see me.
Where we going, bro?
Well, Matthew chapter 7, 11 through 13. Start at verse 8 on that. 8 through 13, y'all. And we're going to get into the gift part of it. And then we're going to get into the bad side of it, what you're talking about, that they're saying the reason you shouldn't do it. But we're going to see all of this side of it is caused by understanding it from a different head. Y'all, ain't nothing new under the sun. Like we say, he's a copycat, y'all. He ain't going to be too far off. He ain't going to never be too far off. Too far off mean you know. It's like, do you throw a bag full of an Arby's sack left over out the window in Chesterfield? Why would you do it riding down Martin Luther King? Why you govern yourself out there with that bag of trash? I'm talking about you see him sitting over there at the fancy restaurant eating outside, and you ride by and just hurl a Wendy's bag over there. But you come down Martin Luther King and hurl it out the window and trash up the block.
Don't think twice.
Let's get some more.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 8.
What it say? Start at 7.
Ask, and it shall be given you.
Yes, sir.
Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh, receiveth. And he that seeketh, findeth. And to him that knocketh, it shall be opened. Or what man is there of you, whom if his son asks bread, will give him a stone?
Y'all seeing that? If a man asks bread, you give him a stone to eat. You want to laugh and see when he bite down on that hard piece of bread and his front teeth fall out? What man to give a man a stone if he asks for some bread? What kind of person is that? Go ahead.
Or if he asks a fish, will he give him a serpent? If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? See, so he asked common sense. Would you just not even know him? So would you give a friend ask you for some bread, would you give him a stone? Or if he asked you for a fish, would you give him a venomous cobra snake? Y'all wouldn't do that on earth. How much more you think your Father wouldn't want you to have good gifts? And we're talking about everlasting gifts. Let's get some more. Verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. For this is the what? The law and the prophets. So know what you're getting into. Know the law and the prophets about gift giving, gift receiving. There's rules for it. See, baby, when you get to a point where you say, you can't do that, you can't give no gift, you can't, that's evil. Those may be from the pockets of a pattern. You first got to check and see if that's why you're saying this. Or he's going to point out, yes, I see where the Lord did all those things, but this is the reason why he said, don't do it no more. And that's what we're looking for. The scriptures say, don't do it no more. Because we already got Zerubbabel, and it's talking about the last days, ain't it? He said, I'm going to shake all the kingdoms. I'm going to shake the heavens and the earth. When you think that's going to take place? It couldn't have been talking about the flood. Zerubbabel wasn't back then. Let's get some more. Where we at? Did we finish that? Verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate.
At the what gate?
At the straight gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. So we can hold that. Just wanted to show y'all as saying, look, you being evil know how to give good gifts. How are those two in the same wording? It means you a sinner. Know how to give good gifts? You could be a sinner, whatever, and your child gets straight A's, you're going to give her a good gift. I told you if you got straight A's, you're going to get a good gift. I didn't get no good gift. Because my mama said you can't get a gift for damn fools. I had D's and F's all over my report card. No gift. A tutor.
That was your gift.
Yeah. Where we at?
That was your gift.
Yeah. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get this Genesis 41, 42. And we're going to get into Pharaoh and Joseph, and we're going to see if he's married to the state of Egypt. Tell you before that, let's go to the covenant patriarch himself, Isaac. Before we go there, y'all, before that Genesis 24. We still going to Genesis. I just jumped a bit. Genesis 24. Because there's something very important in here, y'all. And understand that, y'all. Job was the richest man in the East. And when he got sick, his wife told him, do what? Curse God and die. The money had dried up. The wealth had dried up. So what was she there for? Huh? She didn't want no broke. Look, I'm not saying it from that perspective, but what I'm saying is when the good times left, she wasn't there in it. That's why you can't base it off. You can only base it off of what you're able to maintain. You can't make that covenant and you above board. You ain't gonna be able to keep up. And the first thing you're gonna be told, you can't keep up no more with this. I thought you said, well, I know I was gonna lose my 10 jobs and trying to keep up with you, woman. That man said I would sleep for 2 hours on the job. He got it on film.
He got a job long as he sleeps.
yeah, he do. When he wake up, he fine. Yes, let's get it, y'all. Genesis chapter 24. Yeah, we're going to, we said we're going to hold at 42. We're going to 24. I was getting right back to Genesis 24. Let's go verse 1 through 3, and then we're going to skip down to, this is Abraham making a covenant with his servant who he's given his right hand to, his signet ring to go get his son's bride. Look, I don't want Isaac with just anybody. I want him from my people. Go to my people and go get my son a bride. I'm old. I want to see him married. I'm old. I want to see this go down before I get up out of here. Let's read.
Genesis chapter 24, verse 1. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age.
So he was well stricken in age, y'all. He was starting to break down a little bit. Go ahead.
And the Elohim had blessed Abraham in all things.
Some things.
All things.
A few things.
All things.
Okay.
And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house.
See, this the eldest servant of his house. Eleazar wasn't the only one. Go ahead.
That ruled over all that he had. Put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh.
See, this is the same move that Jacob told Joseph when he was in Egypt. Put them hands under the thigh. That's like, I'm finna, this vow, my word is my bond, because it's closest to a man's what? Y'all know what it is, his power. So you put the hand there. That was like how we do, dog. I put that on my, no, we would put the hand under the thigh. And that's why when the Messiah coming, his name is written in his thigh. His oath is there. It's close right here. That's why he's girded right there. I'm coming for y'all in righteousness and truth. I'm not coming like Satan. I'm not coming to seduce you like he did Eve. We have to be a church presented as a what type of virgin? That means we have to iron out all the wrinkles and get all the spots out. We got to get this Clorox of word and put it on these stains we got, and we got to iron them out. Just like you won't wear something and you know that stain is there.
You ain't going to the marriage ceremony with that stain?
Right there. How you gonna do? Put a name tag over that stain like you've been to the hospital visiting? Billy. That's a nice tux you got, man. Oh, but you got that thing on from the hospital. You've been to the hospital, rip it off and there's a jelly stain. Damn, man. Let's get some more, bro.
In verse 3.
What kind of jelly?
And I will make thee swear.
I will make thee what?
I will make thee swear by the Elohim, the power of heaven and the power of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell.
See, he say, none of them that's around me right now, I don't want them dealing with them. Swear to me. This is an oath. This is a death oath, y'all, that they're making here. He's giving him his signet power over all that he had. Y'all see these writings? I'd have made a covenant oath with this man to go handle my business for me. I'd have gave him a signet of authority. Let's get it.
You want to jump?
Yeah, let's get right over to the part where he get to the land. Start at verse 12. Verse 11, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 24, verse 11. And he made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water at the time of the evening, even the time that women go out to draw water.
Right.
And he said, O Elohim, Yahweh, of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speed this day and show kindness unto my master Abraham.
See, at this time of the day, when the women go out and do their bit of work, helping out with the household, the earlier part of the day, the men out there driving the cattle and getting them farms ready, and we herdsmen, we vineyard planters.
We was going to work.
We're going to work, and then at the evening time, y'all go feed the cattle that been doing the work. They got to handle that business at the time they go water. Wasn't a lot of hard work, but it's the same way he bring home the paycheck, go hit the stove. Get what we need. Up in here, these covers a little bare up in here. Tired of eating Captain Crunch. I want some real breakfast. Go ahead, bro.
Behold, I stand here by the well of water.
Right.
And the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac. And thereby shall I know that thou hast showed kindness unto my master.
See, because he's saying right off, her character has to be hospitality. Good hospitality. Give you water and your beast to drink. When I give you some water and your beast still thirsty, you riding on their back. Like give you a bowl of soup and the yellow light on in your car and you got to go to Kansas City. You can't get there with the yellow light on. Got to give some gas money too, though. Go ahead, bro.
And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that, behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Malchi, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother.
Abraham's who?
Brother. With her pitcher upon her shoulder.
So this family, this out of that same lineage, so to speak. Go back to my peeps. Go ahead.
And the damsel was very fair to look upon.
Right.
A virgin.
A what?
A virgin. Neither had any man known her.
Right.
And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up.
So she's a damsel and a virgin and never have a man met her. So all that other stuff talking about a damsel just mean a 12-year-old girl. That's what happens when lust turns powerful. And it turns into lasciviousness. You will look at these scriptures or damsel and look at 12-year-old like they're a 20-year-old woman. And we just read in Ezekiel 16, he waited till the wall was built up. And the protection down below the belly, south of the belly button was taken care of. Then he spread his skirt over. These Negroes talking about 12-year-olds. What is a 12-year-old gonna do if she ain't even had a training bra on yet? And you licking eyebrows. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 17. And thy servant ran to meet her and said, let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher. And she said, drink, my Lord.
What'd she say?
Drink, my Lord.
Right, so when you get into the point and you want everybody to call you Lord, this just was a respect and honor of a person that came for business. You knew what the deal was. It was just an honor thing, like just saying, we would say today, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's just an honorable thing to tell somebody older than you, or you see somebody coming up, yes, sir, no, ma'am. This all it's saying from that perspective. Honor. Go ahead.
And she hasted and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink. And when she had done giving him drink, she said, I will draw water for the camels also.
What she say she gonna do?
I will draw water for thy camels also.
So now she fitting both the grooves there, ain't she? Both of them. Both of the oath. I'm gonna give you the drink and him drink. But y'all see what the simple test was. Didn't have nothing to do about money, did it? Didn't have nothing to do about her receiving gifts first, did it? What it had to do about her first knowing who you finna, is this gonna be the one? Right. This is already in her before the gifts came out. So ain't no gold digging around here. Go ahead.
Until they have done drinking. And she hasted and emptied her pitcher until the third. Until the trough. And ran again into the well to draw water. And drew for all his camels.
For all his camels, because he had boys with him. Wasn't going to be no jacking on the way to get Rebecca. Go ahead.
And the man wandering at her held his peace, to wit whither the Lord had made his journey prosperous or not.
See, he thinking, man, I am dealing with a man that has a supernatural connection with the Lord. This going down, he done told me what to look for. And it's happening right here, but let me check a little bit more. I got to be certain because I done put my soul on the line, an oath with my master. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, that the man took a golden earring of half a shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands of 10 shekels weight of gold.
Now I can get him to look this up right now. A half shekel. A shekel is $500 in today's gold market. 1 shekel. On today's market, $500. So he took a half shekel of what? Weight for an earring. That's 1 earring. So half of 500, 250 for 1 earring. And he gave her 2 bracelets of 10 shekels. 10 times 500 is what? And he gave her 2 of them. 10,000, 2 bracelets. She rocking 2,500 right now off the top. Didn't have to go to Jared. Jared came to her. See, it's a difference already prepared for this. Yo, we're talking about 2,500 off the top. And it's just for getting some water for him and the camels. Let's read some more.
23. And it said, whose daughter art thou? Tell me, I pray thee, is there room in thy father's house for us to lodge in.
Is there room in thy father's house for us to lodge in? Asking the question. They got adequate space there for us to lodge in. Lodge a stranger, for you may not know if it's an angel or not. But lodging is 2 to 3 days, unless they ask you to stay more. Lodging is not putting your clothes in a dresser drawer. You're basically living out of your suitcase when you're lodging. But if you get a room, you need to be paying rent. This is what the scriptures say, lodge a stranger. 2, 3 nights, and you got to send him on his way. If you don't, you're going to have multiple kings in the house. It ain't going to work. Not men. Not testosterone. Did I say that right?
Testosterone.
What they say is flowing, and young, strong, scrapping men. Let's get it.
Verse 24. And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, which she bare unto Nahor. She said moreover unto him, we have both straw and provender enough and room to lodge in.
See, she said, we got food for the cattle, and we got a spot for you to lodge in. At my father's house. Let's get some more.
And the man bowed down his head and worshiped the Lord. And he said, blessed be the Lord God of my master Abraham, who have not left destitute my master of his mercy and his truth. I being in the way, the Lord led me to the house of my master's brethren. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man, unto the well. And it came to pass, when he saw the earring and the bracelets upon his sister's hands, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels at the well, and he said, come in, thou blessed of the Lord. Wherefore standest thou without? For I have prepared the house and room for the camels. And the man came into the house, and he ungirded his camels, and gave straw and provender for the camels, and water to wash his feet.
And water to do what?
Wash his feet. And the men's feet that were with him. And there was set meat before him to eat. But he said, I will not eat.
I will not do what?
I will not eat until I have told mine errand. And he said, speaking on.
See, this gift of setting it out already, he said, no, I can't take a bite of food yet. I ain't completed everything I'm here for. I ain't gonna eat. I'm here on business assignment. And already I can see how the Lord is blessed in my master Abraham, but I'm on a mission here. This got to go down just like I swore with my master. Let's get some more.
Verse 33.
35.
35, okay. And the Lord has blessed my master, no, 34. And he said, I am Abraham's servant.
Right.
And the Lord has blessed my master great. And he is become great. And he hath given him flocks and herds and silver and gold and manservants and maidservants and camels and asses. And Sarah, my master's wife, bare a son to my master when she was old. And unto him hath he given all that he had. And my masters made me swear, saying, thou shalt not take a wife to my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell. But thou shalt go into my father's house, and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. And I said unto my master, peradventure, the woman will not follow me. And he said unto me, the Lord, before whom I walk, will send his angel with thee.
See, so hold it right there. Did you finish that whole verse?
No.
Okay, finish that verse. We're going to skip down to verse 51 for time's sake.
And prosper thy way, and thou shalt take a wife for my son of my kindred and of my father's house. You said that 51?
Yeah, verse 51.
Genesis chapter 24, verse 51. Behold, Rebekah is before thee. Take her and go. Let her be thy master's son's wife, as the Lord has spoken.
See, so the agreement or the two witnesses of this, it's already public notice here. It's being put on display. Everybody, okay, we understand all of that. We agree with you. Go ahead, but it's still coming down to the acknowledgement of another person. But this is, they say, we good, we hear, yeah, that sound good. Before they just give their daughter to anybody. They're not going to do that just like anybody. Ain't nobody just come to the door and be knocking. Hey, man, there's some girl named Jordan up in there. That's going to be problems. Some good. Right. Yeah, he went like this, y'all. He said, yeah, here she is. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 52, and it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard their words, he worshiped the Lord, bowing himself to the earth. And the servants brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things.
What did he give them?
Precious things.
What do y'all think precious things is? See, and them, because he's taking a daughter out of their house. She already know how to handle the work in the house, feeding the camels after they come from the field and watering them. She already good on that. You just can't take her and take wealth out of my house. I at least got to know what her well-being gonna be when she in your hands. Oh, I see, yeah, you can, okay. Now you're talking. Yes. Yes. Speak on, Eleazar. Go ahead, boy, speak on.
But you also find that a lot of women who have given away their daughters in marriage, it becomes sour when she finds out that the husband who betrothed her daughter is not reneged on the agreement that he made to her mama. And so a lot of times that's where a lot of the beef come from, because the mama like, you ain't doing what you promised to me that you would do for my daughter. You ain't taking care of her like you said you would.
That's right.
She's calling me for money.
Right.
She's calling me for help on the bills.
Right.
She's calling me for everything.
Yeah.
What's your purpose?
Right.
You took my daughter away from her and said you would do this for my daughter where I wouldn't need to intervene and be in her life anymore.
Right.
That you two would become one flesh.
Well, ma'am,
but she's calling me in the middle of the night with issues.
Yeah.
Why?
I understand, man.
Now, father, if the father there, he want to put some hands on.
Yeah, he do. That's where shotgun weddings came from. It's the same thing in the scripture. If you hit a virgin and defile her, you must marry her. You cannot divorce her for life. Right. That's where shotgun weddings came from. Father would knock on the door. I'm looking for Earl Jr.
with the shotgun.
Send him out here to the door. My baby girl's pregnant by himself. Oh, is it? Earl Jr., get out here. Yeah. You finna get married. Yeah. He come out buckling up overalls. What, daddy? You finna get married. What? You told him, didn't you? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 54. And they did eat and drink.
And they did do what?
Eat and drink.
Right.
He and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning. And he said, send me away unto my master. And her brother and her mother said, let the damsel abide with us a few days, at the least 10.
See, now he was ready to go next day like he's supposed to. I'm here, everything is good, I gotta go. At least give us 10 more days with it. Come on now. Yeah, you taking our baby away from us. Go ahead, what'd he say?
After that she shall go. And he said unto them, hinder me not, seeing the Lord has prospered my way. Send me away that I may go to my master. And they said, we will call the damsel.
Who we gonna call?
Call the damsel.
Uh-huh.
And inquire at her mouth. And they called Rebekah and said unto her, wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go.
Now see, even though this appears to be arranged marriage like all of those boys and that Joseph is the daddy, Dr. About when it says she had not known a man, they say that meant she didn't know she was in a already, what do you call that, spoken for marriage by her parents. Her parents set it up, she didn't know. Y'all out of y'all mind. Y'all know it don't mean that kind of no. She didn't know she was already spoken for. Right here still, they asked her, what you gonna do, baby girl? What you gonna do? Let's read what she say.
Verse 59.
What it say?
And they sent away Rebekah.
What they do?
Sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abram's servant.
See, did we miss the part when they called Rebekah? Did we miss the part she say, I will go?
No, we just read it.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, read that 59 again. Yeah, it's becoming more often time. Go ahead.
I will go.
Right, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ed.
And they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse.
And her who?
And her nurse. And Abram's servant, and his men.
So look, they sent away a nurse with her because Rebekah was a young woman, 10 to 13 at the most. Did he marry? Did he go into a 10, 13? No, they took the nurse. Just like we read Ezekiel 16, he said, and when everything was built up, then I spread my skirt over her. Isaac didn't get with her at that young age. That's why the nurse was with her. Isaac, get up out of here. She changed. Okay. Isaac, get away from around here. Saying this was the big mama of the tribes of Israel. Read about it in the testament of the tribes of Naphtali. And Genesis 35 about her service when she died, what they did for Big Mama, so to speak. But Isaac didn't go buck wild on this young one. The nurse go too. You ain't gonna send her back walking bow-legged and broke. She go with her? Go ahead.
Verse 6. And they blessed Rebekah.
And when they did what?
They blessed Rebekah. And said unto her, thou art our sister. Be thou the mother over thousands of millions, and let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them.
So we can hold that, y'all read all the rest of that for time's sake, but y'all can see here how the process went with a covenant marriage that's going down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, this man just happened to be in a better position than most of us. This was like Powerball winnings Abraham had at this point. But it still wasn't about the money first. It was about her character. Go see if she a dragon woman first. If she do like Ishmael's first wife, and when we read in Jasher 21, didn't give him no water, no Abraham no water, nothing to wash his feet, and was cussing the children out. And guess who she was a daughter of? The Canaanites. Cussing the children out. Little Ishmael, get your black ugly.
And she was whooping them. She was beating them.
And beating them. Didn't I tell you, you have an Ishmaelite and Canaanite? Get your ugly. Who? What that old man say? Some water? We ain't got no water, ain't got no food either. He ain't here. He with his mama. He with his mama. Y'all get into the 21st chapter of this.
You need some new nails after that.
Huh? Hold on, L9, then we come to you. Go ahead, L9.
I was going to say that story is like, and usually in this case today, when a man try to mess with a young woman, the parents can actually sign over the rights to the man right today.
Yeah, absolutely, if they underage. Absolutely, and this is where it's coming from. If he got her pregnant at 15 to keep him from getting statutory rape, he has to get married. Or he gonna be on the list in your neighborhood. Lil Willie Jackson. And it could have been consensual. Go ahead. Yes, absolutely. But no, it didn't happen that way because he didn't get no permission.
Her parents got that.
Right.
No, they was
but see, he gave her a ring too, but it was under 12 play. Age ain't nothing but a number. Age ain't nothing but a number. 12 play. What's wrong with a little bump and grind 12-year-old?
Yeah.
Look.
Her parents.
No, they'll know that when they found out, they like, hey.
Her parents got involved in that quick.
What you got, Sis Ken?
It also shows in scripture that how the woman, the Canaanite woman, there was the wrong yoking, beating and hollering at the kids.
Yeah.
She wasn't prepared. She didn't lay out anything for her husband to make sure
Absolutely.
that if anybody came home
Right.
at that time with him,
Yeah.
she could cover who he's bringing and make sure he got water and make sure.
But then she came from a wicked tradition too.
She came from where he said, don't go get them dragon women.
Yeah.
Don't go get them dragons. You go get them dragons, this what you gonna get.
See, Ishmael got the same teaching that Isaac got.
Yeah.
He was circumcised and all too.
That's right, before Isaac.
Before Isaac, he was older. But he didn't cleave unto the doctrine of his father. Cleaved unto the doctrine of his mother.
Y'all read that and see how he did. He said, cussing woman, when you take a breath, tell Ishmael, an old man came to see him. Whatever. Okay, I tell him. He come home. Some old man came by here looking for some water. I told him we ain't had nothing.
He told me to change the nail in my
He told me to change the nail in my tent. He like, that was my dad. That was my dad. And he came back some time later, and the wife came out like Rebecca. Water, the camel. He told him he made a good choice this time.
He said, keep that nail.
Keep that nail. But it ain't a repeated, and you got 10 of these Canaanite women.
Dragging women. And you keep going in unto them. Burn children, unrighteous fruit, bastard children, because then you leave. And don't want nothing to do with the mom, the dragon woman, or the child. So now you just creating a race of bastardized children.
And then we get into Numbers 31, where you get another head in there that don't like your children. And when you get into Numbers 31, you see what they was doing with the offspring that they didn't like.
It's just like what Hagar was doing, was trying to do to Isaac.
Yeah.
She was letting Ishmael pretend he was murdering them and
busting them up, giving them noogies, everything.
All that.
Rubbing his head. She like, this boy gonna kill Isaac.
The final straw was when Rebecca saw him with his bow.
Pointed at him.
Pointed at him.
You know how children will point a gun. I wasn't gonna shoot him, I was just playing. With the hammer cocked back.
Like, oh, no, that's it. That's enough. That's the final straw. That's when she put them hands on her and told her, y'all gotta go out of here.
And guess who told her to go? Sarah. You gotta go. This thing disturbed Abraham because of his son. And he went to the Lord. Lord, she wants me to divorce the woman she gave me. He said, listen to her. Okay, y'all got to go. And he loaded them up with what they needed and said bye-bye. But he never shake his responsibility of his children.
He didn't diminish his responsibilities. He sent her out with her raiment, food, and everything, that she could find another place and be okay on her own.
Because he gave him the gift of 12 princesses. That's what he gave him and told him to go ahead and go. But look, you'll get into Genesis 25 and some will see the word right there. Abraham concubines with an S. But it's only listing 2 women. Hagar, her children, Keturah, and her children. And then it mentions Sarah because she was dead. Now, This restructures the marriage structure for polygamy because Sarah is the first wife. The second and third wives are concubines. They're still a wife. They're just second and third. But guess what? Each one of them, he basically had separately. They wasn't all together. Hagar died before Sarah died. When you get into Jasher 25, it'll list the same 3 women and their offspring. If Abraham had other women, it would state, and they bear him no children, because he took care of his children. Never, you can't make him a deadbeat. There ain't no more names of other concubines. Nowhere. And it should be for the father of Israel. It should be, because right below it gets to Isaac and Rebekah in that same 25 and say, but Rebekah was barren and bare Isaac no children. And you think it ain't gonna be up here? And then you go to the book of Jubilees, chapter 20. Same rundown of the same 3 women. So that lets you know Sarah is the wife, Hagar and Keturah are the concubine, because it's only listing their children in the inheritance. He didn't have no bunch of women. He was just having a good time with.
Just running through.
Or you got to find in these scriptures where those other concubines are named and their offspring. Or if Abraham, they were barren. Because great man, it was told if they were barren, it would name the woman. Like it mentioned Sarah was barren. Like it mentioned Rachel was barren. Rebekah was barren. What are these other concubines of Abraham? Where they at? They ain't in Genesis 25. They ain't in Jasher 25. And they sure ain't in Jubilees 20th chapter. Let's finish this out. We run out of time. Who got something? I'm sorry, Sister Kim. Go ahead. I need these seat close, not far away. Go ahead. I got them off now.
Okay. Can you give me an explanation? Well, the understanding of Abraham's reason for calling the 2 women nails. I don't get that.
Well, it's where a man hang his hat at, right at the door. Usually you come in, you hang your hat right there. It's a sign of hospitality. You know, if you come in because you didn't invite him in or you didn't do anything, it's just an empty nail.
Holding down the house.
It's just, you know, it's holding down the house, so to speak, like Bro just said.
You know, the Temptations, Papa was a Rolling Stone, wherever he laid his hat was his home.
Thank you, bro. Y'all heard that? Wherever he laid his hat was his home. He put his hat on any nail. Anywhere he go, that was home. And then that word, he was a Rolling Stone, all he left us was alone. That's both of them. A space, alone. Meaning he was gone. And then A-L-O-A-N. He left us with that too. Because he borrowed money from Mr. Jackson and now he gone. And he want us to pay. Then left us alone and alone. Go ahead.
Where you want to go, bro?
What you got over here? I'm sorry, Obed.
I was going to say, as far as like those rings,
Yeah.
there was another example of that, Mordecai.
We going to that next, bro. Your mind is on there. We're going to Esther 8 and 2. That's coming up. Let's just Daniel 6 and 7, y'all. We're gonna roll through these, y'all. We're gonna get right to the bad part of it that make people think that you shouldn't do it, and they reach for that book of Babylon, Mysteries of Babylon, or whatever it is. These things happened marriage was way before this Babylon. Babylon copied. If you're doing the copied Babylon version, then you're dead wrong. But a signet ring of authority it's always been down here. The Messiah's been doing it. The Father done it with Zerubbabel. He done it with us. I gave you, I put a ring on you. But when you hear it from Beyonce, you're hearing it from a gold digger status. Put a ring on it. If you ain't got ring money, I get another one of you in a minute. In 1 minute. See, that's how long it's going to take him to get his stuff and be gone. 1 minute. Because all he got is a pair of Nikes and a hat. 1 minute. And he's gone. It'll be another one here in 1 minute. You ain't got nothing to take.
You don't want to be
You on borrowed time. Your name ain't on the lease. Where we at?
You want to go to Daniel?
No, we're going to, Daniel 6 and 17. We're going to hit Esther 8 and 2. And then we're going to get into these last ones, y'all. We're going to close out.
You never did do Genesis 41. You going to go back to that?
Thought I got that.
No, you want to do what it do before.
Oh, that's what we want then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad y'all up. Yeah, thank you. Y'all see y'all woke up in here today. What you got over there? G. Okay. And Esther? Okay. Yeah. Well, you got the Passover up there.
41 and 42?
Yes, sir.
There it is right there.
All right. We're going to go to the book of Genesis, reading in chapter 41, starting at verse 42. Everybody there?
Yes, sir.
Let's get some understanding. Verse 42. And Pharaoh.
39, start at 39, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
Yes, sir.
Starting at verse 39.
Start 37. Just 37. I want because there's something very important in here that Pharaoh recognized. See, he recognized the power of God, and he still implement from his perspective of what he's doing. So we need to already know he knows the power of God before this signet ring is given out.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
When the book of Genesis, chapter 41, starting at verse 37.
What it say?
And it reads, and the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is? A man in whom the spirit of Yah is?
In whom the what?
The spirit of Yah is?
See, so he recognized the spirit of the Most High. And he said, it ain't no man. He's telling all his servants. Is it anybody else with the spirit of God in them like this? Interpret and dream like this. What am I paying y'all for? And they looking, damn, he's hot today, ain't he? Y'all couldn't interpret my dream. Why am I wasting money on y'all? Let's read some more.
Just like the servant when he saw Rebecca.
Yeah.
Verse 39.
What it say?
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as Yah hath shown thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art.
See, wisdom with discretion is top of the chain. Because you're using your knowledge to discern right and wrong rightfully. And this is what Pharaoh looking at. He like, look at this, wisdom and discretion. Hold that and just hit Proverbs 11:22. Because if you have wisdom without discretion, this is what it's going to look like. 11:22. We coming right back to this. Somebody just grab that real quick.
Proverbs 11, verse 22.
Here are a few pages flipping. G baby, what's up? Right here, G baby.
We there? Proverbs chapter 11, verse 22.
What it say?
As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion.
So is a what?
Fair woman which is without discretion.
So we're not talking about, what we're talking about is when if you give a gift without discretion to a woman without discretion, that's where the problem come in at. I mean, you done hustled and bought one, and she looking at it, showing it to her friends like this.
That's all he got.
Right here, and they looking like this, and they had to, wait a minute, go in their fridge, stand for drawer, and pull out some glasses. If that's all it is, that's all it is. With discretion, she'll be like, look, this is the gift after our vows. He gave me a ring. She don't care how you looking at it. It's what it means to her. Whether it came out of Cracker Jack box. Let's get some more.
Back at the Genesis 41.
Yeah.
You want to go back to Genesis?
Yeah. 41 now. Just wanted to read that verse to understand wisdom and discretion. This is what it's like when the two don't go hand in hand. You must be discreet, especially with yourself first, on how you carry yourself. Fringes and outer cup ain't gonna make what's on the inside look no better. It's like a swine with a fancy gold nose ring.
Diamond cut.
You know why? Because you know what that swine gonna do with that as soon as you put it in there? Take off running and dive into a mud pit.
And if it come out, he gonna eat it.
And slop just poured in there. And look, people used to pour the slop bucket in there too. You know what that was? That was your bathroom. Like you go camping and had a little small thing, that went in the pig trough too.
And they'll wallow in it.
And when he come up for air with that jewel on with feces on it, you like, shit, that's part of that burrito, ain't it?
But that also goes back to cast not your
pearls before swine,
unless they'll turn around and trample it.
Yes, sir.
Spit it back in your face.
Go ahead.
He has no discretion.
No, he don't.
Go ahead. Let's say, boy, who had the peanuts?
Boy, shit, it's corn up in there. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 40. Whew. Thou shalt be over my house.
What should thou be over?
Over his house. And according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt.
I gave you authority, but second in command. Go ahead.
And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand.
What did he take off?
His ring from his hand. And put it upon Joseph's hand.
Who hand he put it on?
Upon Joseph's hand. And arrayed him in vestures of fine linen. And put a gold chain about his neck.
Now, did we just read this in Ezekiel 16, what the Lord did for Israel? Yes. Gold chain and a ring on his hand. So is he married to Pharaoh at this point and Egypt?
Yes, he's married to the sister.
Yeah.
See, but you have to look at what he's married to. He's married to Pharaoh mindset that Joseph worshiped the God of Abraham. What I got don't mean nothing to this. Here, man, take that.
Here, dispose of that in any second.
But your God put me over y'all till he come get y'all. You can't take over. But put that on. They bring the chains and put them around his neck. And you know everybody else mad as hell. All his servants.
He gave him authority over.
Man, they never put no gold chain on my neck. He got the ring with authority. With that ring is power. Everything he go, everywhere he go, decisions he make, he do this.
Yeah, put it in that wax. And seal it.
Now we see the Lord gave that to Zerubbabel. Where do you think Pharaoh getting this process from? Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Also say the egg.
Right. Got a lot of egg believers. Go ahead, where we at?
We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 41 and verse 43.
What it say?
It reads, and he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt.
So when Joseph came through, he made everybody else bow to Joseph the same way, second in command. So, but still, what does this look like if you're saying rings are evil? And this is Pharaoh giving power to him. Is he married to the state of Egypt? Y'all gonna have to deal with these scriptures. They ain't going away.
But this is the one the brother tried to say, well, is he married to Pharaoh?
See, it don't make no sense because we know what he married to, because he said, I'll give you power over what? All Egypt except who? Me.
So it is a covenant.
It's a covenant, but it's over the affairs of the land and whatever, which this nation does the same thing. Before we'll give y'all any power here together, y'all need a piece of paper. Now, if y'all together for 8 years, some states say we'll give you that piece of paper. It's called common law. But you just ain't gonna come out of the bedroom chambers smiling and talking about we's married, not all the way. Not yet. And we're not saying it has to be a time on it, but if you leapfrog, it has to be in the future. It has to be prepared. It has to be to the point that sooner or later, the word will go around. Guess what? They finally get married. They finally finna do part 1. They already did part 2. When you keep doing part 2 and you don't read the contract about who holds the nail to the tent, and you sign that contract in the bedroom first with your covenant pen, and then 2 weeks later you decide to read what you signed. Wait a minute here. Dragon woman. A nail terrifier. A child cusser. This a drag. Divorce is in order. Cause you reading the contract after you done already signed it. You didn't read it when you signed it. You just signed it like we do today.
Nor did you clean her off and prepare
Right.
her for a marriage.
Right.
You didn't date her, you didn't court her, so you don't know what the hell you dealing with. You was flabbergasted by looks, the appearance. And then on the inside, and then when you got to the bed, she became that Proverbs 7.
Oh! What have I done? I'll get it right. I'll try it again.
And get another one.
And I'll try it again.
Get another one.
And I'll try it again.
And get another one.
It's like crack cocaine. $10 is too much, and 10 million ain't enough. You can keep trying, but you're gonna be chasing a ghost. Where we at?
We're at verse 44. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh.
What'd he say?
I am Pharaoh. And without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name
Paneah.
And I know it.
Right. That's how I learned it.
Yeah. And he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt.
We got some major problems with this in the Old Testament. You got Joseph marrying the daughter of the priest of On. At this big, you know, everybody was there. You know everybody was there. What's wrong with this picture, y'all? It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. It's got to be understood before you look at something else as evil. How do you then not look at this as evil? Let's read why it ain't evil. Read some more.
Verse 46.
What it say?
And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt.
Right.
And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handful.
You can hold right there, because see, this the whole mission. It's about producing. Regardless of what happened, he said he know his brothers coming here. Yo, if you're doing things in here, you have to make sure the fruit or the offspring is able to survive this. You can't do this with no power of protection. It's impossible. They're not going to let you back there. You're in another kingdom, like Pharaoh told him. I'll run it still, though. You seen anybody Lou Rawls on a $20 bill? Has a $1 bill changed and got Bernie Mac on it. Then who's still running it? Who's still running? And according to their ceremonies, this how it go. But Joseph had power because he was scared to death of it. Where we at? Go ahead, brother. We going now. Boy, we on the same page today. Got it already right here, Genesis 38:12. That's what I like, the spirit is flowing. We coming right to that.
Ain't gonna be no rock over turn.
Daniel 6 and 17, Esther 8 and 2, y'all. We're gonna move through these last few. We're coming up on the 4 o'clock hour, y'all. And y'all, we ain't putting no pressure on nobody to do nothing. The only pressure is the simple rules of taking on a female. These things must, it didn't say when you feel like it or get around to it, it say they must be done.
Must be done. And that's law. And the brother told me I couldn't go to law. Told me I can't go to Genesis, I can't go to Exodus.
I see why.
That's law. So you telling me we can't use law in this discussion? So what kind of conversation is this gonna be then?
It's about to clear up a matter, y'all, but a lot of matters, we don't have to go law until they get to the matter where it's understood there's two sides of a story. Where both, one side is talking about it can be done this way, this side is talking about this going this way. It's gonna have to come to a conclusion out of here. Not out of the mystery of Babylon, not out of the mystery of this book, but out of this book. Go ahead, where we read from now, Daniel 6:17. Come on, y'all, we're gonna roll through these, y'all, we're gonna get on out of here.
Reading in the book of Daniel.
Is Ahab still here? Ahab gone? He was sitting back there. He may be over there in the children's class. Children's class over though, ain't it?
No.
Okay, go ahead, where we at, Daniel 6:17. Esther 8 and 2, y'all. We're going to them back to back.
The book of Daniel, chapter 6, starting at verse 17.
Hold on. Y'all there?
I think you're trying to get
Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I was stalling. Go ahead.
And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den.
Right.
And the king sealed it with his own signet.
What he sealed it with?
With his own signet.
So the king sealed it with his signet ring when they threw Daniel in the lion's den. And he put his seal on it to say, I'm the one that's backing him being eaten alive. Eaten alive. Shalom, bro.
Shalom, family.
Later, G, baby. Go ahead.
And with the signet of his Lord.
And the signet of his what?
Of his Lord. That the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him.
See, because the king, this one, he loved Daniel. Daniel was in corporate. Him, Meshach, Abednego, and the bad Negro, they were corporate workers in Babylon. And the king, but I'd have made a decree and I had to seal it. It's like Obama do something, his administrator bring him something and he signed off it like Trump signing off on things. He signed off on it. And his sleep went from he trouble, he can't sleep. He like, man, I'm in a position, I'm hurting a man of God. His sleep went from him. Y'all know what's called a restless night. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 19. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions.
See, so he there early before the sun come up good. Y'all know he ain't slept. When you having a restless night, what's the best sleep? When the alarm clock go off. Boy, you sleeping like a champion then. And then look up, you 30 minutes, you supposed to be on the highway at this time. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living Elohim.
What'd he say?
Servant of the living Elohim, is thy power, whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lion?
From the what?
From the lion.
You see what he asking him? Yo, God. Holler out if you still alive up in there. Go ahead.
Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever.
See now, even when they talk about Father's Day, we got problems, y'all. The only reason why most people say you shouldn't do Father's Day is because some Hamite wrote on a clay tablet, "O Father, live forever." That's blasphemous. Read that again.
Then said Daniel unto the king, "O king, live forever."
See how you got now, you're told to stay away from things, but they got it from somewhere. It didn't come first with that Hamite writing on a clay tablet. This is honor to whom honor is supposed to be given to. King, if you got the power to let me up out of here, live forever. I'm in your kingdom. Whose kingdom is this? You think you're going to take it over?
Some Negroes do.
With some fringes and talk of war?
Negroes actually think they can.
Showing 9mm and choppers and Rambo will come through there and turn the whole block to confetti with what he was using in Rambo 1, 2, and 3. And let alone a drone come through there. Get some more, bro.
Verse 22.
What it say?
My Elohim hath sent his angel and hath shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me.
What was found in him?
Innocency. And also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. Then was the king exceeding glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his power.
What'd he do?
He believed in his power.
See, y'all, we have to believe. That's all from Genesis to Revelation. If you don't believe, you wasting your time. You get baptized, don't believe, you wasting your time. You say I'm an Israelite, don't believe, you wasting your time. You're going to get a trial where you're going to have to believe. God is going to save me out of what I am facing right here. Some lions growling and ain't ate. They didn't feed them purposely. And they throw you in there with it. You got chicken grease on your fingers when they came and got you. What? To the lion's den. Yeah, I gotta go. You smelling like a 2-piece and biscuits and get thrown in the lion's den. We can hold that. Y'all read the rest of it on your own time. Esther 8 and 2. And then y'all, we just gonna hit these real quick, y'all. We're gonna be out of here. Huh? That was Daniel 6 and...
law into this 22 and 17 about being if a betrothed is not betrothed to a maid and he lied.
Oh yeah,
gotta give a dowry.
The main thing we'll end it with that.
And then I always screaming, well, she ain't no virgin. Oh,
yeah. What was that, 22 and what? 17. Okay. And y'all, and what we're talking about is it never called the price of a virgin. It ain't nowhere to be found. It's called the bride's price. Whether it's a virgin or somebody else, it just happens to fall on a virgin more. Like a new car versus a used car. You're not going to get the same thing with a new car you get with a used car, are you? A new car ain't never been drove.
Old car got miles.
It got a few miles on it. When you go look at an older car, you're trying to see how many miles on it. Woman, how many divorce certificates you got? Oh, you got high mileage. A virgin is brand new.
Brand new.
There's a different price for a virgin versus a used. And I don't want to use them terms. I'm sorry, ladies. I didn't mean it from that perspective. Y'all forgive me. I'm serious. I'm just trying to do a parable here by no form of shape of disrespect because he's a used man too.
Right. That's right. That's right.
So let me get that straight, clean that up real quick. But I'm just trying to give an example of why people think the virgin was the only one to be paid for. It's still called the bride's price. There's nothing in there to say the virgin's price and everybody else is left out. If a woman divorced and she goes back to her father's house, because she had another husband, if you come around her, guess who back in control of her if you send her out and she go back to her father's house? Who house and who control is it at that point? You still got to come back to the daddy. She back in his house.
It ain't gonna be a nice greeting when you come back to daddy this time.
If it's him. But if you divorce her and put away, long as she ain't been with nobody else, you can come back to that daddy house. I got a goods job now, Mr. Johnson. I'm ready to do the right thing now, Mr. Johnson. Yeah, I know. Now, boy, last time you talked about that, you wasn't ready. Here where I'm working at now. Here what I'm doing now. Yeah, I knew it was a long shot for Earl's all change and Jerry curl, but I was trying to use both things. You know, when the oil change, I want to use that on the Jerry curl, and it was supposed to blow up, but it didn't.
It did blow up.
But I'm working now. Right. Let's get it, boy. Where we at?
Yes.
It's 4 o'clock. Okay. We're gonna get these last few, y'all. We're gonna close out. Hit this Esther 8 and 2. Y'all, we're gonna move on through these last few. We just got a couple. We're gonna hit the one line I just want to read about Judah. Everything else I'm gonna give y'all to write down. And y'all take a look at it.
Esther chapter 8, verse 2.
How we looking, y'all?
Looking good.
And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman.
From who?
From Haman. And gave it unto Mordecai.
Who he give it to?
Gave it unto Mordecai.
Right? Everybody ain't there yet. I ain't even there. Yeah, look at that. He ain't there too. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Esther chapter 8, verse 2.
Yeah.
He's still ain't there.
I'm here. I'm there, y'all. I got it. Go ahead.
And the king took off his ring,
right,
which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
Right.
And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite,
right,
and his device that he had devised against the Jews. Then the king held out the golden scepter.
What did he hold out?
The golden scepter toward Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king and said, If it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written.
Let it be what?
Let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews, which are in all the king's provinces.
See, so you see how they maneuvering through this captivity in ancient Persia. Asking this, but who got the ring? Took off Haman. Who got the authority now? Here again, Esther married to the king. Now he gave the ring to Mordecai. What's the deal, y'all? Are they married to the state of Persia? Huh? Or do we overlook this one? That don't count. It count. It's there for a reason. To let us know when you in other lands in captivity, don't stop becoming one flesh and being fruitful and multiplying. Is that the case? Nobody should be married under these circumstances, because you can't prove power of protection. Yo, it's not hard. It's a simple process, but if you still in that old man, if you still like you used to do around holidays coming up, if you quit your girlfriend around Christmas time, you still doing the same thing. Start an argument right around that time. Yeah, I heard, yeah, you was down there at Earl's all change and Jerry curl. So my auntie doing your hair ain't no good, huh? I'm quitting you. I went down, I'm quitting you. Right for Christmas. You're just doing the same thing. You just done flipped it over to here.
Yep. You'll find that these same things apply to other aspects of their life.
Quitting when you feel like it. I quit. I quit. Tired of this. Let's get this last one, y'all. Wanted to finish there. Now, y'all, these just a couple, y'all, on the opposite side. Let me hit James 2 and 2. And Genesis 38, y'all, 12, and we're going to close out. Y'all write these down to check on your own. Isaiah 3:16, you're going to see how he takes everything back from the daughters of Zion. Take the ring back, the earring back. And what we're talking about is the biblical ring of gold. They gave bracelets, they gave earrings, they gave hand rings. Y'all, this didn't start in Babylon. The Lord started this for his bride. This how much I care about y'all. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. What you think the Lord care about a bracelet? And he's the manufacturer of gold in the earth.
Simple.
Hit that James 2 and 2, then Genesis 38 and 12. Y'all write down Esther 3 and 10. That's where Haman got the ring to do wicked, like they're talking about. He devised an evil plot and took the ring. That same Esther 3 and 10, y'all read that. Then Isaiah 3:16, 1 Kings 21 and 8, where Jezebel took Ahab's signet ring and signed false documents with it. 1 Kings 21 and 8. Y'all write them last one down. Y'all gonna do this. We just gonna do this James 2 and 2, and it's Genesis 38 and 12. We're gonna close out.
You say Isaiah 3:16.
3:16.
Esther 3 and 10.
3 and 10.
And 1 Kings 2.
21 and 8. 21 and 8. And what we're talking about is the signet ring or the ring of authority. When you give this, it's got to be some form of authority. Yeah, y'all saw what it was, but y'all, it's the vows in Numbers 30 has to go down before any gift is given. You see the vow of Abraham, they making vows before the thing went down, y'all. This how we gonna do it. You can't make a covenant after you leave the bedroom.
Notice when people so-called give traditional promise rings or wedding bands are only produced after a courtship has ensued.
Right.
Well, you know this is one you want to be with. And then somebody will give a gift of a bracelet or a ring, a promissory ring. I'm promised to this man or I'm promised to this woman.
What you call an endowment in the scripture.
Over the course of this time, I found her to be the one that I want to be with, or vice versa. That's why the Most High said courtship has to take place so you know who you're dealing with.
And she can't just show him the ring without telling him the vows if somebody asks. Because if you don't, I see you got that ring on, little sister. You married? Yes, I am. But is you happy?
Right.
I ain't pulled the ring off.
Even the book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes 1:29 and 30. Oh, no, I'll take that back. Chapter 7 talks about the friendship.
Yeah.
It says to try a friend first. Prove them first before you give them credit.
Yeah. You have to do that with everybody.
Friend.
Right.
So if it's a maid that you weren't laying with, a woman you gonna lay with, you ain't gonna prove her first.
Friendship first? Ain't that what you say when you introduce this my wife, this my friend?
So that's some gay stuff.
What is it, boy?
Homies over hoes.
Oh.
Ain't that gangsta-licious? Do the homie.
Boy, you gonna have to repeat yourself. I was saying something else. What's the deal now, boy?
You know, it was an episode on Boondocks where this one boy who was supposed to be so gangster, he was a rapper.
Right.
Gangsta-licious.
Right.
But his whole ordeal was, he ain't about the women, he about the homies. Homies over hoes.
Oh.
So it was friendship over women. Buddying over women. So, but we know what it was about. It was a homosexual activities over, you know, men dealing with men over women. You see what I'm saying? So this false appearance of boy being cool and gangster, On the inside, he had homosexual tendencies. You know, but in the book of Sirach, it says to even prove a friend.
Yeah.
Before you even give him credit. Yeah. So if you're gonna prove a friend first, you ain't gonna prove a woman.
Your best friend's supposed to be.
It says try the spirit of every man to see if he of God. But we ain't gonna do that with women. Why? Because our lust is taking hold. And we've lost all sense of discretion by the ways of the Most High. So therefore, then you start calling her a wicked dragon woman after you done laid with her. Lord forbid if she's pregnant. But we'll see that happen with our father Judah and Tamar.
Yeah. Let's hit these, y'all. We're going to get on out of here. 4:15. Go ahead. Let's get it. James 2 and 2.
James chapter 2, verse 2.
Genesis 38:12 right after that.
For if there come unto you, unto your assembly.
Into your what?
Assembly.
Right.
A man with a gold ring in goodly apparel. And there come in also a poor man in vile raiment. And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing.
But see, once again, y'all, all it meant was nice clothes. Once again, how the devil, look, see, that's the difference, y'all, in what he's saying right here versus how gay clothing has changed to a whole nother thing.
Right.
It had other names at first, the same thing with the rainbow. They've taken both of these that was once status up here and perverted it. And this is what we're saying, the same thing with the biblical rings of gold. They've perverted it with their teaching, but you just go away from that. That don't mean you can't go away from what's written, because that means you're only focusing on the negative point of what somebody doing. And if you say, I don't want to do it like that, then there's still another way to do it. The original way. If you saying that's wicked, then there has to be an original.
Because the wicked can only be based off
the original. Let's get some more.
When we read what the gay is right there?
Yeah.
It's G2986.
What it say?
Lampros. Shining.
Shining. What?
Shining, brilliant, clear, transparent, splendid, magnificent. Splendid things, i.e. luxury or elegances in dress or style.
See, so the clothes was the same. Lucifer was dressed up like that. But it's what's underneath them clothes, like Liberace, and his mind set. So he's changed the whole way of how you dress fabulously, so to speak, if that's underneath them clothes. You're supposed to have on boxer shorts up underneath them. What is you doing? How is there such thing as a man thong if it ain't a jockey strap? Where we at?
Verse 2. Or 3.
No, let's get Genesis 38:12, y'all. We're gonna close out. And y'all, what we're going to is Judah had some sons. And his first son died that was married. And he was supposed to, by law, the next brother in line was to marry that sister. And so forth and so on. And he didn't do it. So we got here another problem of law breaking and not sticking with the rules about marriage, how it's supposed to go down and how things are supposed to be addressed.
And if lust overpowers
you. Yeah. Where we at?
Genesis chapter 38, verse
12. How we looking, y'all? Y'all there? All right, we good. Let's get it.
You start at 11, bro.
Okay. Who got it?
I do.
Okay.
Genesis chapter 38, verse 11.
What it say?
Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law.
His what?
Daughter-in-law.
Uh-huh.
Remain a widow at thy father's house.
Y'all see this? She's remaining a widow at her father's house. Her first husband is dead. So she go back home to her father. Who's in charge of this widow of his son? Who's her power of protection? Her father. That don't mean you don't have to give no money to her. You come knocking around them doors. I'm looking for that woman whose husband is dead. I wants to marry her. You got dowry, son? I have dowry.
Now look, even the Hamite who defiled Dinah understood the righteousness of presenting a dowry to Jacob.
He said, I'll pay the bride's
price.
He said,
I give her whatever you require, I will pay that because I love her. But he had already defiled her.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't negate the fact that he was willing to pay the dowry. He was willing to pay for his responsibility. Genesis 38, 11. I ain't finished that. It says,
remain a widow
at thy father's house till Shelah, my son, be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house.
So now he said, go back home to your father's house until the baby boy is grown up. Then I'll give you the baby boy because 2 of my sons had already died in your possession. I'll give you the baby boy when he's grown up. You understand when it says when he's a responsible man to take on his former dead brother's wife. His brother, though, blood brother. Let's read some more.
Verse 12.
What it say?
And in process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was confident and went up into his sheep shearers to Timnah, he and his friend Hirah, the Adullamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnah to shear his sheep.
See, and they still called him the father-in-law because she was still engaged to Shelah. He just had to grow up, just like Rebekah had to grow up for Isaac. Same situation here. They have to grow up to be responsible to take on this. Go ahead.
Verse 14.
What it say?
And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place.
And see, like today, we don't have virgins wearing blue head wraps all throughout the land so you would know who to choose. We don't have women out here in widow's garments for you to say, well, okay, she's been married before, but her husband is dead. The only thing you got out here is a ring or no ring.
That's it.
It's just a level of defense when your woman go out in the streets. Most men will look, oh, she married, dog. But the beast inside them say, what that mean to me, nigga?
Right.
Hey, sweet thing.
Right.
You's happy?
Then Satan come out, beguiling that old serpent.
Where we at?
Verse 14. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife.
Now y'all see this? Judah still tripping. The boy growing up now, supposed to be her husband, and he been holding her up. Come on, boy, wait a minute. Isaac was 39.
Well, it was also, he thought that Shua would die the same way that the other 2 boys died. So he like, I don't know, something wrong with her.
But he made the oath.
But he made an oath.
See, you have to keep your word.
See, contracts bind you. Because if you say, I do, if you write, that's why in the court of law it says, do you have a contract? Let us see it. Whose signature's on it?
All contract, it got to be 2 people coming out. I saw it.
Yeah, and witness, bear witness, 2 or more witnesses.
I saw it yesterday when they got married.
Everything is based off the originality of life. This is the source. So they use it as the source, and then they present resources, and it's up to you. That's on you, your free will as to whether or not you're going to believe the resource or the source.
That's right. Where we at?
All right, I'm gonna finish this. 14.
42 and 7 of Sirach. Let me just read this out. Deliver all things in number and weight, and put all in writing, that thou givest out or receivest in. Get a receipt. Get a receipt for your most prized possession. However you got to do. Power of attorney, whatever you do, get a receipt. Sirach chapter 42. Where we at?
And then you also see in the book of Tobit that
yes, sir.
Rahu wrote a contract, a marriage contract for Tobias.
That's the 6th chapter of the book of Tobit through the 8th chapter. Y'all get down with that in the captivity in Nineveh. And read about that. Where we at?
Okay, let me finish this. Verse 15.
What it say?
When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me?
Now y'all see when we was in Ezekiel 16? Look. But she playing the harlot, but look, she's not playing it like Israel.
Right.
She's asking for something. Israel just give it away for free.
Yep.
Just give it away for free. What's the first thing she had? I'm not a free male. No, partner, you can't get this for no cost. No, player, what you got? What did it say? What did it say she got? Ask for it.
And he said, okay,
verse 17.
And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock.
How much do one whole kid or goat at Sulam Market cost?
Probably about 100 and something.
What?
About 100 and something dollars right now.
So he's already in for $1.50. Go ahead.
And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it?
So now she asking, how am I trust you? You want the honey, but ain't no money. How am I trust you, partner? Player? Go ahead.
And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet.
Thy what?
Signet.
That's his ring of authority.
And thy bracelets.
And thy what?
Bracelets. And thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it
And
her.
he did what?
He gave it her. And came in unto her, and she conceived by him.
And she did what?
Conceived by him.
Y'all see what that pregnancy cost him? Bracelets, gold, a kid, and his staff. All of his power he gave to a woman on the street corner. And his signet ring, his authority. Yeah, we're going to get some marriage going here tonight. Here you go. Here you go.
Read that first Ezra chapter 4 about the love of a woman. What a man will give for the love of a woman.
They will lose their mind. They will go out of their wits. But look, the problem is these men are putting forth something it still costs. I'm going to say this and move on. Had a partner say he used to go by a friend of his. Friend with benefits. Take a 6-pack and a couple left-handers. They laughing and watching some black exploitation movies, and finally he go use the restroom. He said he leaves some money on the top of the toilet and come back out and laugh some more. She go in and come back out with her clothes on. He said, oh, it's not enough. He go back in and pee again and peel off some more. And she go back and pee. When she come out, she got just a towel wrapped around. He like, oh, that's the number. That's the number right there. So every time I come over here, that number is in my pocket. But it costs that, a left-hander, and a 6-pack of staff. Oh. Ain't no free meals.
See, even with sunflower seeds in the air,
and yeah,
you still pay for it. Right. You bought it. might be cheap.
Let's finish it up. Yeah, go ahead, bro. You at verse 19.
And she arose and went away and laid by her veil from her and put on the garments of her widowhood.
So are we back in tonight, Proverbs 30 and 20 now? Such is the way of a woman that committed adultery. She wipeth her mouth and say, I ain't done nothing. Just pull them harlot clothes off and put back on her widowhood clothes.
Like she ain't done nothing, ain't been nowhere.
Read some more.
Verse 20.
What it say?
And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adulamite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not.
He like, oh, I done been got. Just like you read stories in the Daily Mail of everybody, a hooker done run off with his Rolex and his money. Same thing, ain't it? Ain't we reading the same thing? He looking for it. He say, look, you need to take this down to that hooker, man. I need to get my stuff back. She got my stuff.
And he took off his wedding ring. Set that over.
Power. His power.
Took off his power.
Go ahead. Where we at?
21.
What it say?
Then he asked the men of that place, saying, where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, there was no harlot in this place. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of that place said that there was no harlot in this place.
So he been saying, I've been ganked. I done got ganked. All my stuff gone. He swallowed deep. What you mean ain't no harlot there?
23. And Judah said, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, hath played the harlot. And also, behold, she is with child by whoredom.
By what?
By whoredom. And Judah said, bring her forth, and let her be burnt.
Let her be burnt. Who is this wicked woman? My daughter-in-law, she's 3 months pregnant? By who? She's promised to my son. I know I ain't gave her to him like I said, but she still promised. What else to say?
25. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, am I with child? And she said, discern, I pray thee, whose are these, the signet and bracelets and staff?
She like, look, she laid them down. Here it is. This all this stuff. Who that belong to? That's who I'm pregnant by. For y'all kill me, them his belongings. Go ahead.
26.
What it say?
And Judah acknowledged them.
What'd he do?
Acknowledged them.
At least he, to this point, I ain't gonna let it go no deeper, y'all. I done dug the hole deep enough. I didn't get a boy like I was supposed to. I'm willy-nillying out here. I'm raw dogging. A harlot is pregnant by me. So what that is but raw dogging?
Most High says, only acknowledge thy sins.
Go ahead.
He can forgive us. He can turn back unto us, but we won't do it. We try to find a script to support it. Verse 26, and Judah acknowledged them and said, she has been more righteous than I.
What she has been?
More righteous than I. Because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more.
What did he do?
Knew her again no more.
Okay.
And it came to pass in the time of her travail that behold, twins were in her womb.
So he boy. He wanted compensation for all them gifts, didn't he? He said, woman, you about to get some twins up in there. Hang on to my stuff till I come back. So y'all, we can hold that. We just wanted to get this out, y'all, for y'all to see all the things. Exodus 20. Go ahead, hit that real quick, Elijah. Exodus 22:17. No, we ain't got no time for And y'all also please read the Testament of Reuben, the whole first chapter. because it talks about common sense and all of the spirits of discernment and what a man faced. And he said, this caused me to go after my father's wife because I didn't pay attention to common sense things and things that were around me. And he said, I was stricken in my covenant area for 7 years because I wanted to do something that I shouldn't. I saw her in there, knew it was my father's wife. He was the first MF of Israel.
He said that lust, he couldn't go to sleep.
He said he couldn't go to sleep.
He accomplished the lust in him.
And he said it was over in a second. Bill, I woke up, who is that? He was gone through the door. And an angel told Jacob, Reuben's an MF, a mother for unlawful knowledger.
And Judah had to come back home. He had to cut his trip short.
He couldn't look, Reuben couldn't look Jacob in the face no more for 7 years behind this illegal activity, y'all. Y'all, this is what I'm saying. One way or the other, it's going to cost you for free meal activity. Where we at?
It cost Ham.
Yes, sir. Right.
But he had no shame.
Huh?
You said a verse earlier.
Exodus 22:17. Let's get there, y'all, so we can close on out. Huh?
You said, second Ezra to read.
Yes. On the drive me and crazy.
Second Ezra.
First Ezra. Chapter 4, chapter 3 and 4.
First Ezra.
Chapter 3 and 4.
Now you saying Ezra or Esdras?
Esdras.
I mean, it's the
in the
same
Apocrypha.
one. In the Apocrypha.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's talking about 3 things in the earth. Yeah. You're chapter 1st Ezra.
They was trying to figure out what's the most powerful thing on earth.
Right.
A king, a woman,
right,
or what was the
wine?
Other thing?
Yeah, wine.
Wine.
Yeah.
4. Chapter 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yes, sir. Chapter 3 and 4. Yeah.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 17.
What does it say, Elijah?
And if a man, verse 16, I'm sorry. Verse 16 and 17. And if a man entice a maid.
If he do what?
Entice a maid.
Right. What's
that
little mama?
Is not betrothed.
That is not what she ain't engaged.
She's not engaged. If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her.
And do what?
Lie with her. He shall surely endow her to be his wife. If her father utterly refuse to give her to him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
So it don't let you out of it. If the deed been done beforehand, you still on the hook for it.
That's a law.
You're not off the hook for it because it done already happened. You have to still come back around so that the public will take both y'all off the market.
And what we have to understand is this whole creation, this all is based on the creation of Adam and his helpmeet.
Yeah.
It's going back to the way things were properly ordained in righteousness.
Right. But we can't have no force or commanded polygamy or threats. If you don't want to do it and you get with a single woman, we're going to watch you. You better not get caught tripping. Because of what? Because I don't want to do a permissive will? Who was the first polygamist on earth?
Cain.
Lamech, Cain's grandson. So when you want to talk about, go back to the beginning, you're talking about, you want to go back to Babylon on rings? Let's go back to the first polygamist from the rotten seed and line of Cain. The first polygamist on this side of the water was Abraham, but he didn't ask for it. Sarah brought Hagar that Pharaoh gave to her. Hagar was Sarah's property, not Abraham's.
There's no story where you go and see that the brother was going through the land just grabbing women, grabbing wives unto himself. Just picking them up. Oh, I like her, I'm gonna bring her home too. Most of the time it was the women that was bringing these women in because of some shortcomings on their behalf.
Right.
To fulfill that whole unionship of the husband. And it was mostly based, not to cut you off, Dan, but it was mostly based on procreation.
Yeah.
When a woman was barren, so that the husband's name would be increased in the earth.
Yeah. But when we're talking about the covenant that we are under, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if we follow the covenant of them even dealing with the subject of it, none of them said, you ain't got to listen to you, give her up. These women, that was their property that came with them from their father. He didn't have control of that. Every one of these women say, here, take her. You can have her, but now the duties fall on him just like it did for her. Their wife is just a second wife now called a concubine, but the responsibilities don't change. The rules don't change. You got to stay up to par. If this ain't for you, we're not saying you can't do it. What we're saying, if you get into this squared circle or this ring circle of marriage, there's rules about it. If the rule's broken, there's fixes for those rule breakings. But it ain't no willy-nilly. It ain't no shut up and we can do this and ain't got to worry about nothing. It ain't none of that. That ain't in here. That, you know where you can find that at? You can find that in there where the bad part of wedding rings at. You can find that type of marriage in there too. But that ain't brought out of that mystery of Babylon. That part ain't brought out there about bad nails in your tent. But it's in that same book too. That same, very same book, it's in there about that. Let's close out, y'all. Oh, you didn't get to Exodus though, did you? 22?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did that. I was just checking with him. You know, he get that sometimes.
It's going to be all the time.
Yeah. Whew. Y'all got any questions? Hit us up, y'all. Y'all know how it go. Y'all, we ain't going over nothing that ain't already been in the earth before. Look at Bud.
Yeah, we know.
Already.
Growing. Man, what y'all got? Miracle growth?
Tell it.
I just saw him.
Y'all might well just duct tape a nipple to a gallon of milk and just say, here, boy. Boy, they got so big, ain't they? How old is it now? Quick.
11 months.
Look. God, you just had them.
All right, we're going to close out with the Most High's permission in the name of His only begotten Son with a song. Psalm number 12, and it reads as follows. Help, Yahweh, for the godly man ceaseth, for the faithful fail from among the children of men. They speak vanity, every one with his neighbor, with flattering lips, and with a double heart do they speak. The Most High shall cut off all flattering lips, and the tongue that speaketh proud things, who have said, with our tongue will we prevail. Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy. Now will I arise, saith Yahweh. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. The words of the Most High are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Yahweh. Thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. Hallelujah! Say that!
Y'all got a shekel.